is it,
LA
Baron?
Country
Where is
Club,
it?
right in the heart.
How do I get in, dude? You believe me? I'm not on any email list to get invited to no U.S. Open. I'll tell you that right
Mm.
now. That's a special level of invitation.
I don't
I
have
do get
tickets, but
emails for
fuck.
festivals and music and stuff. It's a little bit of lower level type of event. But U.S. Open, sheesh.
Baron got that access when he bought his private jet.
No,
Yeah, bro. When you buy a jet, you get to go to the U.S. Open.
dude, it's gonna be
You know,
wild out there. They've never had like
I
this many people go to an open before. Usually they go to like a venue where they can get like 30 or 40,000 people in there. So that's not happening at this place.
you want to go, Baron?
No, I'm not going.
Is that golf or is this
Golf. It's in it.
so? But it's not like the waste management here in Scottsdale where they get wild out here. Is it?
Well, it'll get pretty wild. I mean, it's the same type of fans. I mean, it's supposed to be a little bit more refined just because, they won't build the grandstands to, in a stadium format that leads to, just absolute madness. But it'll be fun out there.
But they still let them kind of turn up a
Yeah.
little bit. It's not like your typical golf event where it's very
No, they've gotten a
tuck.
little bit more rowdy. I don't like
Okay,
to
okay.
watch golf on foot. It's just easier to watch like from the TV. But I mean, there's going to be a lot of who's who out there. Just considering it's at LA Country Club, it hasn't, very famous place, hasn't been there since like the 1920s or 30s or something.
So we're not going. Okay. All right, Baron. I
Yeah.
wanted to go. I wanted to go with you, but hey, so my friends, I think I remember like a little bit after high school, you have to put in like a bid to get tickets to the U.S. Open, and they somehow hit the raffle. Is that how it works? You hit the raffle, and then they allow you to buy the tickets. I could have sworn I remember them
Yeah.
winning a raffle that allowed them to buy it.
Yeah, because they'll sell it at cost at that price. Because it's supposed to be like like pro people from all over the country qualify for this, like amateurs and stuff, as well as the pros. So it's kind of a unique tournament in that perspective. So they they played it at municipal courses in the past and stuff, and they'll sell the tickets at cost for that reason to try to get like to act like they're open to the masses.
Yeah, they gotta put it on that front. And the same with the Olympics. Has anybody here been to the Olympics? The Olympics are like a raffle system too, right? You put in for the events you want to see, and you might get a chance to go to those specific events.
I've been to Greece Olympics 20 years ago.
You what?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, damn. The Olympics are coming to the U.S. here soon. I thought in in like 2028, maybe. See what is it? L.A.? Nah,
It
man.
might be. I think the next one is in Paris, though.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Baron, did you look into any of those videos, bro?
Oh my god, dude! I asked my wife about it this morning. She's like a history major, art history major, so she knows architecture like in and out. She's like, no, that building was built in the 1400s. No, that building was built. They finished it after the fair. They closed it in. Like she was all over me. She's like, they added two wings. It wasn't like that originally. I'm like, all right, I need to do some more reading.
I sent you some more videos, but so she's saying a lot of the buildings were built 400 years before they said it was 1400s.
Yeah, I'm like, that's
Yeah,
interesting. The
that
ones they kept. But
yeah, the ones
I gotta look it
those
up
are the
of
ones
what
they
the actual
kept.
date is. She knew all the
It's
architects
funny
and
though.
everything.
It's funny though if you look throughout the world, Paris, Berlin, all these major cities had this kind of architecture, and you go and you look now, and it's all been destroyed. A lot of it got destroyed in the two world wars too.
True. Same out
Yeah.
here. Same thing.
Yeah, so
Beautiful
that's
stuff.
crazy.
It's you know, no matter what happens, the destruction was crazy. They literally had a contractual obligation to rip down all the buildings that were a part of the fair, any of those cities. So it was like a traveling circus of destruction.
Yeah, it was a traveling circus of deleting of history, in a sense, deleting of the architecture.
But motherfuckers in London got every fucking artifact in the world.
Oh yeah, bro, they do. There's me. I want to go to museums in London. I don't know. Has anybody ever been to some of the museums out there? They've got crazy shit.
I've been, to be honest,
Yeah,
but they got just because they got so much shit of Greece. I was envious like that.
It's wild how now, like, can Greece not say, "Yo, that's our history. Can we get that back, please?" You kind of took that from here.
No, that's a major point for like fucking 50 years out here.
Yeah, dude. You kind of took our history. Can we get that back?
Like some shit from the Parthenon too.
What
Like,
what are the most famous cities in Greece that are traveled?
I mean, Athens, the capital, holds like 6 to 7 million people. Okay, uh, that's like 60 to 70% of the whole Greece. Um, Kind of like Tokyo, and then there's the islands that you gotta go to. You know, like we got our own Ibiza, pretty much, with Mykonos. If you heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't been over there,
you
man.
love it, comp.
Um, I forget. No, I for sure would,
It's real
especially because
easy
I love
to get
history.
around. It's like the people are great. Um, it's ready for you. You know what I mean? Like they know what they're doing with us tourists. Try not to be a dumb American, and you'll get by real far.
Dude, my favorite videos I've been recently seeing, and it's in Italy, not in Greece, but the pickpocketers in Italy are crazy. So the locals know how to identify them. It's pretty obvious, like once you start to see what they look like and what they carry. And so there's like local crime fighters that go around and they'll just like with a microphone just call out pickpocketers just to announce to all the tourists where the pickpocketers are. And they're the funniest videos because they'll start yelling into the microphone, "These are pickpocketers, these are pickpocketers, watch out, watch your bags." And the people who are clearly the pickpocketers are the ones that start walking away. They make it so obvious. They're like they show exactly who they are and start running away from the person screaming that they are pickpocketers. Um,
That's funny as
like
fuck.
like they don't get arrested or anything. It's not really like I don't know. They don't really punish that crime there, but the locals are starting to protect tourists by calling out the pickpocketers, and it's like that feeling of justice. It's like yes, call them out, and it's usually like girls around like ages 18 to 23, kind of that range, maybe 15 to 23 that are doing all the pickpocketing, man. You don't even it's not none of them are guys, man. Guys stand out too much. The girls are slick. What's up, Anya?
You must be on the same TikTok feed as I, because I swear I just saw a video about that. And the woman that was yelling, like she has the whole thing, like from beginning to end, captured in one sweet justice video of like these. It's like a group of like three or four women that were like together, and they're like they look like normal people, like Italian citizens that are just walking by, and she like yells partially in Italian, and then she says in English like pickpocketer, pickpocketer, and she's like yelling, and these women are like throwing their jackets like over their heads and are like obviously trying to like hide themselves, and this like group of other tourists that were like clearly coming from like somewhere else, like they immediately like wrap their bags around, because like that's a pretty universal term. I think everybody understands, no matter what language it is that you like speak. You hear pickpocket and it's like yeah, we know what that means.
Are they not the most satisfying videos
I
though?
love that.
There, she has a whole series where that's her thing. She goes out in public, and once you know what they look like and how they walk around and move, you can kind of tell who the pickpocketers are. You watch enough of her videos, you go, "Oh, there they are." But so she knows she's a local, so she goes around and just calls them out right to their face. Yeah, I don't know. It's super satisfying. Yeah, I think they're just viral on TikTok right now. That's not really what my TikTok feed is. I got a really weird TikTok feed. I've somehow broken through like the mainstream programming of TikTok, and I found like a dark part of TikTok.
Oh no, what?
But I
What?
still, but I still get those really cool like
He ruined
pickpocketing
my
videos. So,
childhood last night.
yeah, no, I've
I could never show the feed of my TikTok to anybody. I feel like that's such a personal, like more than like handing someone my phone and them seeing like my personal photo stash like on my phone. I can't let them see the algorithm that has been created for me by the technology that is by aliens. Like you'll know me too well. I can't even let my
mm,
husband see my own TikTok, like, because he'll know too much about how to deal with my ADHD, and it plays to my strengths that he doesn't understand me. It keeps it interesting for at least like the next like 10 to 15 years. So yeah, that's not even something I let him use.
That
I
was a
I
calm reminder of why I'm never getting married.
I had actually I get ADHD videos on my TikTok too, but there was one yesterday that described it to start thinking of it like a superpower and not like a handicap. It's more of a superpower. So I'm gonna just go with that narrative now. That fits what I feel like the narrative should be. So I'm rolling with that. No, I my brother hit me up. He goes, "Bro, how the hell is your TikTok algorithm so good? Like, keep sending me videos. I'm trying to fix mine." But you can really, I see why, I see why they wanted to ban, like they were trying to push through Congress to ban some of the, like, obviously they're trying to ban TikTok. They're trying to get, they do not like the fact that Twitter, that we can discuss freely in spaces and on Twitter now, and they can't censor a lot of things. They've got Facebook and Instagram under control, but I see now, especially because I spend so much time on Twitter, um, how us communicating like as freely as we can is kind of a threat, like being able to talk. But TikTok is for sure a threat, and it's not the national security threat that they're saying. It's just because you can really contact anybody around the world. Like you can get videos from all over the world, so you could see what's going on in France and see their protests and seeing what they're doing over there, but can't really see that on Facebook or Instagram. They're not showing you a lot of that stuff on those platforms. You could see it on Twitter too. So I don't know. I think it's important to have the freedom to communicate around the world with these platforms. I think that's why I value Twitter so much, and I think it's important that we have this kind of space, this kind of platform at least, and TikTok, dude. Because I've fixed my TikTok algorithm now. I'm like, hell no, you can't ban this. I've learned more about what's going on around the world on TikTok than I have anything else. I don't have any of the dancing videos on my shit. I'm learning about the real shit around the world. What's up, Leviant?
No, that's facts. And I think some people want to ban that shit because by default, I think on pretty much most countries, you'd get some shit like, half naked women or dances or, some weird shit. While on China, I think young people get educational videos and maybe not so much informative stuff because of what's going on there, but that type of content. And I think in that sense, that's a brainwash, and it low key is a national threat.
Yeah,
That's why Elon Musk took over and he exposed with the Twitter files all the stuff they covered up in Twitter, you know.
yep. Yeah, no, the national security threat is the people being able to share information like openly and freely. And the fact that China controls TikTok, the US is just like, no, we got to ban the whole platform. Like we can't get a back door to it. We got to just ban it because these MFers are out here learning some shit we don't want them to learn. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't actually a national security threat in the sense that they tried to portray it. And the same with Twitter. Like, I mean, Elon taking over and just showing the corruption that was behind like what Twitter was forced to do. Um, the Twitter files are crazy. Yeah, you're right, Leviant. Leviant knows, man.
Thing is, it was only a few people doing all that. You feel me? And they were answering to no one. So that really is a fucking threat, I think. Like, because anybody can influence just those two people moderating that, and then it's game over for what? Fucking 2 billion people using that app. I mean, what the fuck? You know? But on TikTok too, I think they were doing some shady shit. Like with the location, you got turned on, and some motherfuckers were trying to reverse engineer it and saying how they can pretty much even. I mean, I don't know how if this is 100%, but even before Congress, I was saying this shit nonstop. Like low key, if it's controlled by China, the majority of it, because it's also controlled by other parties, of course. But they were saying some shit like they could even map your house or some shit just by where you use the app from.
Yo, let's say what's up to everybody else in here. We got a bunch of people that came up. Dre Millie, what's good? What's the news?
Y'all about to get the whole bad take space shut down, huh? Is that what we aiming to do today?
No. We said that Elon and
Yeah.
Twitter were good. We talked good about Master Elon. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta pay homage, man. Y'all better throw some Twitter sacrifices up or something. Somebody throw up some code or something. So no, you are speaking the truth though. You know that's what I'm here for. I love coming here and talking truth. Like you already know, we can go to deep take in a hot second if you want to, but let's keep it light today. Everything's good. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. Currently grocery shopping for fruits.
Welcome to my city, Dre. It's hot as fuck out here.
Are you in Phoenix? I ain't know that.
Yo, hey, y'all
we gotta
better
link and get some tattoos, man.
How long you out here for?
Till next Wednesday. Then I'm heading up to Vegas.
Okay, yeah, I actually have some free time on.
Let's link, my boy. Let's do it.
I'll be free Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, my nigga.
No, for sure. Let me escape the wife and talk to the wife and kids.
What part of town you staying in? Scottsdale?
I have no idea. Okay. I'm just here.
Hit me on the DM and we'll talk.
For sure. So yeah, flew out here because my daughter's name is Phoenix, and she always wanted to go to Phoenix. So I said she got out of school last week. It's the perfect time. So now Phoenix is in Phoenix, living her best life.
Is that really why y'all went to Phoenix?
That's the only. I swear to you, that's the only reason.
For a week. All right, man. Congrats on school. Let's go.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no other reason to come out here. So
there was no reason.
That's it.
This got to be the better. At least it's now and not like August, bro.
Yeah.
It's probably still pretty hot, but it's
100 degrees, man. And the lady I'm speaking to was like, "Yes, this is beautiful weather out here." I said, "What?" She said, "It's usually 115, 110."
Yeah, but it's not like humid hot. It's not that bad.
It's a light year so far, bro. This ain't shit. Last year was terrible.
Rupsy, are you in a cup?
Am I in a cup?
He sound like he's talking.
Oh, my bad. I got my earpod in my bed.
Are you in a cup?
He sounded like he got a wire in a cup and it's hooked up to my
wire in a can.
Like a cup.
Like a can.
Oh, wire in a can talking to his neighbor.
I got the other can over here. It's an old form of communication.
Is this better?
You guys want to?
Do I sound better?
Nah.
Yeah.
But you know how it's been in LA, man. It's been like cloudy, like 60s, 70s. As soon as you got off the plane out here, boy, he would drop kick you in the mouth, let you know where you are. But I'm not complaining, just out here living. So yeah,
live life, bro. Live life.
You know what I mean?
What are y'all gonna do?
Side quests all day. Swimming. Take my guy to go to the Lego something, and go to a whole lot of gang shit. That's what we on. You know what I'm saying? Rough, tough streets of Phoenix. Like I don't know, whatever the kids want to do.
Bro, I think we're actually gonna be taking my little kid to the zoo on Monday.
Oh, word! I think we doing something. Again, I have to check in with the warden and see what she has planned. Other than that, I'm just here. Like she told me to go pick out some fruit. Guess what I'm doing right now while I'm talking to you guys? One guess.
Fruit shopping.
Exactly. To the best of my ability. So yeah, I'll let you know though. I'll hit you up for sure. We definitely can link. For sure though. Getting ready for Vegas. You ready, Comp?
Yeah, is that next week, bro?
Next week, man.
Shaw, we ready? Yeah, she said we'll be fine.
I don't see my Rimowa bag. I'm not ready. I'm ready,
I'm not.
but I'm not ready.
Ready, ready, ready.
Ready.
I'm
Don't
not
Yo,
put
ready.
check the OG
Azuki.
channel. In
Don't be putting Azuki timelines on Artifact. Okay.
Bro, you have no idea what I have planned. Go check the OG channel in the Discord.
All right, all right, all right.
You're going.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let me check this chart.
Bro, I already got my poster people. Yeah.
Oh, I like it. Why don't you put that on the main channel, bro?
I don't want any of those guys to see it. Yo, listen, man. You guys might not have a problem with Boo, but I do. I don't want him to see anything I'm doing. I don't fucking like him. I just got to be straight up about it. Because my brother asked me what happened because he listened to it, and my brother was ready to go fuck this guy up, man. But I'm not here for that. I don't even want an apology from him. I never want to talk to him again. He can keep that crackhead baby energy to himself, man. Don't fucking speak to that shit because he's gonna see me in person, and I will literally go to fucking jail again. I don't give a shit.
Wait. We can't let it go there. We can't let it go there. We can't let it go
Bro,
there.
I'm gonna tell you, I've been in some violent situations in my life. I've been left for dead, and I'm still alive. So if anyone thinks they're gonna fucking defeat me, they lost themselves already.
Oh, I'll feel you on that, but I don't want to the name calling the crackhead baby shit. Like,
No, that my
let's not
brother is the
let's
one that
make it.
told me that. I was really nice about it and shit, and then he's like, "Yo, how are you gonna let a man disrespect you like that? You don't even have children. How is a woman gonna want to marry you if you're letting people fucking disrespect you like that?"
How do we end up here, guys? How do we end up here?
Um,
Bro, if your girl is judging you based on a Twitter space, bro, that's the wrong girl for you, my guy. Jeez.
nah,
Well,
nah.
Kuro, I know I think I hear where you're coming from. You know what I mean? Maybe not word for word, but sometimes we don't have to. We're not going to be able to get along with everybody in this space. So it's just that's okay if there's people in the community that don't see perfectly eye to eye, right? And I think we can just move on from there, right?
I
I agree with that. I agree. I just I don't. I'm a guy of purpose. I'd rather if those type of words fly, I'd rather be direct. You know what I mean? I feel some type of way when if I'm allowing or just letting people talk behind other people's backs when they can say it to their face. So that's all I'm saying. To feel any
Bro,
type of
I
way you
said
want to feel,
this.
man. You're
I'll
an
say this
individual.
shit to his face, bro. I'm going to New York in about 3.5 weeks to go fucking sign a deal. Don't worry. I'll even fucking strap a GoPro to my chest at 4-1.
what,
I don't give a fuck.
whatever you feel like you need to do. I'm just saying. I don't want to have a space where I feel like I'm the one condoning, you know what I mean, that type of stuff about anyone,
Bro, you guys let him go on for
anything.
fucking 7 minutes. So I don't know what
No,
you're
I,
trying to
I
tell
didn't
me right
I
now.
didn't let him go on. You were here for him to go on and talk to. You let him go on. He was talking to you about things.
What was I
That's
gonna do?
on you.
Disrespect everyone else in the room?
no,
No,
you
or
handled it
to the
good,
took
bro.
it to the
Yeah.
DMs, man. Take it to the DMs. I'm just saying that's the same thing. If he was here right now, I tell him same thing I'm
I
telling you.
sent
Take
I
it to the
sent him my
DMs.
phone number in the DMs. He never called me back. He never
Well, that's
fucking messaged
hey,
me back.
I can't
So
control him. I'm
I
just
just said
saying
what
to
I
you.
said
That's
because
how
like
I'm
I
handling.
literally am not gonna show people that I don't respect, like, and it's just him. I can't block him. I don't want to
That's
block him on
between
Discord.
y'all.
Remove him from the community. I'm not gonna do any of that shit to him.
I
No, I
will
feel
say,
you. I feel you.
He deserves to be here more than I do. Okay,
hold on, girl. Hold on, let me
because
say.
I didn't
I
pay
will say
Pico
that
Talk.
this space has been disrespectful. Apology is deserved. Like 4 people in this space have been direct disrespected. Me and Dre as host have been disrespected 4 times now, and I won't. I'm not even gonna allow the energy on stage or him on stage until I get like a proper apology, because I've messaged him and told him I felt disrespected for that. So there's just no like, yeah, I understand how you feel, and I know there's a few other people that have been disrespected by him and they feel the same way. But I do agree with Dre. If he's here, like y'all can talk one on one and everything. But I feel
No,
you though, bro.
I like yo. I'll just straight up leave, bro. I'm not even gonna condone that shit. Cause I'm gonna tell you something right now. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm not gonna talk to you like that. I'm not gonna treat you like that. That's not what I'm here for. That's not what I'm about on this earth, bro. Like I pray every fucking day, okay, to make me a better person. I'm not just gonna go and disrespect people every day, bro.
Well,
Like
I'm saying you
it's crazy to
saying
me.
you won't even have a chance to talk to him on this stage because I'm not letting him up until I get an apology for the last 4 times that MySpace has been disrespected, that Dre as a host has been disrespected, Baron, Hemi, you, actually Baron twice now. Like it just he won't you won't even have a chance to do it here on this stage because I've been disrespected so many times. I won't press the accept button to come up, so it's gonna have to be a personal DM with him, or he's gonna have to host his own space where he can say whatever he wants in his space, because he's not gonna do it to our space anymore, dude. It's just I'm sick of it. It's been 4 times now. The last time what he did to you was the last call, bro. Like, after he did it to Baron, Hemi, you, I'm like, all right, what the fuck? This is a repeated pattern. I'm just not gonna accept the request to come up here. Like, start your own space. This is your freedom to start a space if you want to address somebody. But bad take's not the place to come up and call people out for no reason.
If he wants, he can text me. I'll send him my address, or I'll send him the place that I'm staying in New York, and he can come talk to me in person like that. It's just that simple at this point, man. Like, there's no reason to even behave like that.
That's
I've
the
already admitted my faults. I know what I did wrong. I've been doing everything possible to come back from fucking what I did wrong. Like, and not that it even matters, but I've apologized to him numerous times. At a point, he has to realize it's not a problem with me, not a problem with Baron, it's not a problem with Hemi, it's a problem with him. That's what, like, yo, if we don't take
well,
accountability for our own fucking actions, then what are we doing on this earth? We're just wasting fucking God's time and other people's time around us, bro. That shit doesn't make sense to me.
So, Kiro, like while you're praying, I know, like from the outside looking in, I was there that night when all that shit went down. I don't know any of the context behind it, but from the outside looking in, you seem to handle yourself a lot better in the situation than he did. I'll just say that. So, what I will say is, while you're praying for yourself to be a better person, because I think we should all do that. Also, pray for him a little bit. You know what I mean? He it sounds from the outside looking in that he might need it a little bit more than
Bro,
if you
like,
wasn't
honestly, I want the
able to.
best for this guy. I'll just be like
Absolutely.
straight up with
Yeah,
you.
dude.
And
Me
like,
too.
yo,
We're gonna get there. I hear you, Kuro. We gotta. I love what Rupsy just said because I need pray for me too. You know what I'm saying? I'll take some. And
bro, I
man,
pay for everybody when I wake up every day. And like in the afternoon after I meditate, I pray for everybody. And the reason why I do that is because, like, bro, faith without actions equals nothing. It's just nothingness. You don't want to live in a nothingness. You want to live in abundance. And I'm not talking about financial abundance or possessional abundance. I'm talking about abundance of self and just feeling good. You know what I mean? That's the only abundance you need to live in. Like, it doesn't matter what I have in this world. All of that shit is irrelevant when I die. Like, I don't even know if I'm just praying to the universe or not. There's a lot of questions I have and a lot of answers I'm never going to get, probably. And that's just like part of being a human being. And when you act like that, that's not being a human being. It's being
well,
something else, and it's not healthy
but getting
for the
back to what
person.
Dre said, it's just not our job. We just get to worry about ourselves today. You know what I mean? And not we going into what happened there or in the past or him himself or another person while they're not here is just not. That's not our thing. You know what I mean? We got to move on from that, and then But when I pray for when I think about other people, I do act like service for other people or stuff like that. It gets me to stop and thinking about me. I can get so wrapped up in me, and then what's wrong with this, and then I'm like, the hedges don't look right. I got the guy's not even trimming the grass right. Like I literally will get upset about things that people that are like already doing services for me. Like I'm mad at them. It's the most bonkers thing. So yeah, I got to get out of self. And one of the reasons why I come here on a consistent basis is just to hear other people and what they're going through, and what's going on in their lives. And it makes me not think about obsessing about my day and all this shit. Maybe the bad emails or whatever happened. So anyways, thanks for reminding me of that, Rups.
I let's go to Jack here in a sec, but I also feel like as a community, this is what, like as a family, as a community, it's one of those things like where you don't want to air out your dirty laundry in public spaces. Like this can be handled, um, you know, in a private Discord chat or like in a voice or a call or DMs, right? It's just like you don't want to air out this kind of stuff like in fight communities, dude. It's just public. In my opinion, that's just not shit that go down.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point I was making. You know what I mean? It is what it is. People gonna feel the way they feel. Like we all grown. It is, yo. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. I'm just saying, handle it in a responsible manner where you guys can handle it together or not at all.
Yeah, I think you handled it well at the time, though, Kiro. So don't feel some type of way. You did really at that time.
No, I agree
I
with
was
that
there.
as well. I agree
Hey,
with
don't be
that as
going
well.
anywhere now.
I agree with
Don't be
that as well.
going.
I
You
need my
want to?
guy. I need those eyes looking at me here.
Don't leave my freaking group chat for the 10th time in a row, bro. It's hurting my heart every fucking time. I swear to God. Let's go to Jack.
Let's do it. Yeah, bro. I don't know anything about what happened, man. I missed that piece, but I guess just from an outside the entire thing perspective, for whatever it's worth, and like I hope it doesn't sound ignorant or whatever, but it's like we are a decentralized community. Not everyone's gonna like everyone. Not everyone's gonna know how to address every situation, because so many of us have had such differently independent backgrounds and such unique backgrounds that the odds of us all meshing in a positive way every single time, it's low. But like we all have one thing in common, and that is the love for the creative vision that CloneX and Artifact has pushed to the forefront of each of our lives. And like it's kind of something special, at least, that I think a lot of us in this ecosystem share. So like in challenging times, I would just encourage, to hold to the art of it all, and kind of let that decentralized nature of things kind of shift, because like, yeah, it's just from a numbers perspective, it's not going to work every time. But lead with love, in the sense of we all believe in this CloneX vision kind of thing. Just at our core is like that's always something anybody in this ecosystem, anybody who cares about this ecosystem will always have in common is that we fuck with what Artifact's trying to put out there. We believe in this vision at the grandest of scales, and clones by any means kind of catchphrase, and that comes with coming together as a unit too. And even in tough times, by any means, we try and remember that we all really care for one another, and the vision that we all share. Got a little deeper than I thought there. Just playing some Diablo got me feeling some kind of way.
No, shout out to you, Jack. That was
Well
excellently
said.
put, man. I appreciate that for real. Thank you, and I agree for sure.
That was great perspective, Jack. We are decentralized, man. You can't control who joins the community. We're all going to have different outlooks, come from different backgrounds. Jack really summed that up. Anya, what's up?
I think Jack said it really perfectly, and I wanted to add on as well, kind of to what he said, as well to what you had said, but about like airing dirty laundry on the timeline and everything, is that I think it's really important for us to remember that like we all have like different antics of and like different ways that we communicate as well, and like just something that's like my own personal preference, and just putting it out there, because this is something that like that I've kind of made mention within like the team and everything, is that when there are people who go out of their way to like shout you out in a public way for the purpose of like either embarrassing you or trying to like humiliate you, or even kind of like maybe even scare you, like I've definitely have like approached them with a lot more caution, like just for like my own like protection, because like, you know, at the end of the day, like we are all real people, and at some point we're going to come together like for IRL, you know, things. And I'm way more cautious about people who have either, you know, turned on a dime, and have become either very violent or very like, you know, verbally aggressive or anything like that. Like I'm just immediately, that stresses me out so bad, that like I tiptoe around those kinds of people, and like have made mention like when as there was a certain reptile who's no longer in the community that had created an account with my PFP, and it was actually legitimately like kind of scary for me, and I'm sure that there like would have been measures to be taken, like if in the case it would have gotten like to the point where it was like you know, too much. But I definitely I had like, I think I had mentioned it to the team at some point and was like, I feel like this is a little bit of like maybe scary territory, because you know it's just weird, I think. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there, like it's okay to have your own boundaries and set those lines.
Did we lose her? Oh no, I think it's a good point. Um, be careful who you trust out here. Be careful what you're saying to people in DMs. Be careful what you're telling people, what kind of information you're giving people, because you just, especially the people who will go to the timeline and use it against you, or who will take screenshots and manipulate them into stories, or turn on a dime, like you said. So I think it just, this goes back to something I say often, is just choose wisely who you spend your energy on, who you spend your energy with, or because um, people people have will do nefarious ass shit, and they will turn on you, especially in a bear market. As people start losing money, they get a little bit more unhinged, and they will uh, take out their anger on on people, like the community in general. So that's a good point. Sorry, I just went outside, and I don't know how California's had so many clouds. Looks like it's gonna rain again. Guys, does the world feel a little weird? Like, at least does this feel a little different? Like, why is it June and we're still with clouds here? Did did
Bro,
did
we got your weather. It's beautiful here. Another perfect day, no rain, no humidity. It's beautiful.
did we shift ecosystems? Like, for real?
Yeah, we traded.
Compound, send me some of that rain, bro.
All right, bro. No, I mean it's not even raining. It's just clouds. You
Yeah,
can't see
it's been
anything,
cloudy here in Vegas for the last few days too.
dude. Yeah, something's off. This isn't normal in June.
Yeah, we haven't hit 100 degrees yet.
What's it
Usually
like
by
up
here,
where Jack is up north?
usually by now we're 100 all the way.
Jack has sunny blue skies, I bet.
Guys, I got the smoggiest damn day Minnesota's ever had. It's like the worst ever air quality day. It looked like it was misting outside at 3:30 p.m. when I went to get a new Mr. Coffee machine from the Target.
Ooh.
I feel like I had a new coffee machine, dude. Like,
Dude,
the
get one before it breaks, comp, because you're going to have a bad morning the day it doesn't make coffee and you got to walk, 20, 30 minutes, or jump in the car and drive, the couple blocks just to get coffee.
Jack's bones don't really move until he has coffee. Have you ever listened to one of his early morning spaces?
hell no.
You can hear the coffee dripping and him like watching it.
And then if you're lucky, you even hear Barron sing a sonnet in his morning, standing on his bed sheets, just belting it out. His wife's sitting there going, "What are you doing?" And he's just singing a grand morning GM.
I don't do well without coffee, man.
No coffee. Barron has no coffee, man. Got a lot of energy, just naturally.
Oh, I drink
People run on coffee, dude?
I drink a ton of coffee.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there ain't no way, bro. I could just tell Baron drinks coffee. You could sense it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I know a coffee drinker when I see one.
I think it's kind of a fun thing to just, give people mugs. to kind of celebrate occasions. I think mugs are a good gift for a GM culture such as ours.
When Jack came to visit me, he brought my wife a mug, and I drink out of it. I just actually had some ice cream out of it tonight. It's delicious.
Yeah, we only got one mug because the guy at the store only let us take one mug. It was actually pretty wild. He's like, "Yeah, you guys are meeting someone off the internet?" We're like, "Yeah." He goes, "All right, you don't have to pay for that. Just let us take it." It was the wildest shit.
Oh, I'm expecting a mug from both of you guys
Is
now.
this in St. Louis?
No,
There's
dude, it was in Minneapolis. The dude is
dude,
just like this guy who is very zen, and he did not give an F
I was
about
gonna
his
say that
job.
would not happen here.
No, dude. St. Louis was a different vibe, but we looked out. It was fun. Total vibe. Total blast. Zen Valley, best golf courses in the country.
We learned a lot about St. Louis in the last 2 nights. St. Louis is a good place. Baron, was it you that sent me a video of it's like cops driving through the Central Park or some shit,
No.
almost hitting kids?
Oh, dude, that was wild. That was wild. That was a police chase. They were chasing this guy down, and he turned around with a machine gun, dude. They just ran him over. These cops were so lucky. But that's it was during the day. That doesn't. I mean, it sounds like in LA, it's more like in the area that people like. It's where it's just in the kind of in the hood where it's always been. I mean, but anyways, that was a wild video, dude.
Dre, you gonna move to Phoenix? When you stepped off that plane, did you get hit in the face with some heat?
I got hit in the face with some hearty hell nah. Ain't no way. Ain't nothing out here for me. For real. But
I'm
no,
gonna
it
tell you
was.
right now.
It's hot in the motherfucker. That's about it. You know what I've been coming across too, for real, is a lot of people talking to me about Utah still. I've been in a lot of these meetings, speaking to these people. I was talking to the BMW M homie, and matter of fact, one of the people from BMW just sold their house in Santa Monica, and I'm packing their shit up, and they moving to Silicon Slopes in Utah, man. Everybody's fucking going to Utah.
Is there state tax in Utah, Anya? Who was
I
that
think
person that
so.
called you Anaya?
I get
Anaya?
that a lot, actually. I just respond like it's the same. It's like that's my name.
I
I
was
just
like,
want to
what?
call you Anyha. Anyha.
Anya. Anya.
I'll still respond to Ehan too.
So a lot of Californians, I guess, are moving this year to the states with no state tax. A lot of the rich ones, because I guess there's some kind of billionaire tax going into effect soon, or some kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah, it
rich
sunset
man
state
tax.
tax law, but that's not a state issue. That's not at the state level. So
Is
they're
it
not.
not? They're leaving California to go to like Wyoming and
Well, that's for state.
Florida.
That's for state income taxes. You're talking about estate taxes is known as a
Yeah.
billionaire. That's how much money you can die with. And right now it's 12 million a person. It's going down to 5 million. But that's they won't change. What'll end up happening is they'll keep the level at 12 million because they can make more money on changing the percentage from 40% to 50% than they can by changing the cap from 12 million to 5 million. So they're just going to slip that in at the last minute and be like, oh, we kept it at 12 million, but now you got to pay 50%, which is 10% of a lot more billions of dollars.
Yeah. Something also, okay, so yeah, there's something happening in California specifically with the state tax that is causing a lot of people to move to the states that have no state tax.
Yeah, well, it's 12% or 13 versus zero.
And it's specifically affecting the high earners, like the high
Yeah.
earners.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's flipping everything. Like you said, something feels different about the weather there, and it feels like it's flipping
Bro,
from other
the
parts
world,
across the world. Like it's feeling it's everything, energy. Period. Like the people
the
from
world feels really different right now, bro. I'm not even kidding.
it's true.
You
It's
guys
true.
believe in? We don't want to go too deep. You guys believe in collective consciousness?
The answer is yes.
Yeah, because yeah, that's what feels different. It feels like the world is starting to see through some of the bullshit and starting to see like, and it's ever since COVID, it's felt like everybody's going, wait a second, this don't seem right. Wait a second, that don't seem right.
The veil has been lifted, man, for
Yeah.
sure. Like you always say, we don't have to go too deep, but that's
No, I
where
mean,
we end up. We
but this
stayed
is
here. We
how my
stayed
mind
there.
always is, bro. Like I always think like this.
You and
Uh,
I both. But that's part of this too. A lot of the people moving from San Francisco to Utah because San Francisco is going to the shits. And ever since COVID, again, everything has flipped upside down. A lot of the things they were doing before, they no longer are able to. It's crazy how they call homeless people transients. I don't know if that's a disrespectful thing to call them homeless or call them transients, but the
dude,
transients
my
situation is
mom,
overcoming everything.
yeah. No, I call them homeless people. My mom's been homeless for like 15 years, so I just say homeless. She don't care.
She don't mind. Nah, but yeah,
She calls herself homeless, bro. Whenever.
that's part
Wait,
of it though.
wait,
So
she's homeless right now?
Yeah, she's been homeless for like since I got out of high school. That's what she's decided. She get a phone every couple months, like she'll buy one and it will last for like a couple weeks. Some of them, man, some of them they just they that's what they've decided. I don't know. And it's in California, so the weather's not too crazy.
no,
Whoa.
they make a conscious choice. But that's what I'm saying. That's part of it too, right? So mix all of that stuff in together. That's why it seems like a lot of the people who are making a crazy amount of money, they're going to Utah and they're starting up a new Silicon Valley, and we are watching it happen.
Well, that's why I was wondering if Utah's has a state income tax because I
They
don't.
do.
Yeah,
They
they
do.
do. So then the draw to Utah must be slightly the weather, slightly the location, a little bit.
Yeah,
There,
AB.
there
It's
it's
like
not
kind of
really the
all of the above.
it's not the like freedom though because they've got like some
But if you're
crazy laws.
retired, if you're retired, I mean, you don't have an active income, you care less about that tax. I mean, arguably, you have a bunch of trusts that are paying taxes and shit, but if you're not like making millions of dollars a year in income, like it's already mathematically going to get that. I mean, there's my point is there's pros and cons to everything. I mean,
Well,
so many people can go to Florida, Nashville, Texas, Nevada, Montana, and there's probably one or two I'm missing.
I'll tell you where a lot of Hollywood, like the people who got to see a lot of the dark side of Hollywood, a lot of them, a couple of them moved to Utah, but a lot of them moved into Wyoming, right? Isn't that where Kanye and like Jeffree Star and a
Yeah,
bunch of others bought
that's
property out in Wyoming because there's no state tax.
yeah. They pay
Post
like a
Malone,
monster amount in sales tax. Go look at what the sales tax is in Texas
no,
versus all these other states where they have the. I mean, you pay, dude, no matter what you're paying.
they get you
Yeah,
somewhere, bro. They do.
yeah,
And what I learned in California, because people will always be shitting on me in California about taxes, but if you compare the property tax in California to that of Texas, Texas is significantly higher. California is nowhere near the highest in property tax. So California pays you win when you're a property owner in California, I guess, but you get hit on your income tax is where you get hit.
hmm
So, but then you go to Montana, they have a state tax that's not too high, but they have zero sales tax. So like everything you're buying, groceries, guns, anything, bro. I remember I went to college in Montana. And I remember buying my first sound system for my like dorm room, bro. It was like a $300 computer sound system, or no, like yeah, bunch of speakers, subwoofers, everything. And literally what it said on the price tag is what I paid, and it blew my mind because coming from California where the sales tax is 8% or whatever it is. I was shook. So they get you somewhere, Baron. You're right. If it ain't property tax, it's income tax. If it ain't income tax,
Yeah, you
so
know what you got to do, Con? You got to make more money.
that's what they want, bro. Because it's a percentage. They need that. Yeah, make more money.
It's a
No, I never
California game.
complain. I never complain. I like people. People say, "Oh, it's so expensive to live in California." I was like, "Well, it is for sure. We just got to make more money to make up for it." But
That's the same rationale that I have. Like I had the same conversations with my family and friends, and it's like, yo, I just gotta live it up, gotta push harder. I mean, honestly, but you can do that here, right? Even just being able to meet the people that you could initially couldn't have contact with to put you in a better situation in life to be able to connect the dots. You have to be in the places where they are, and California is the place you want to be. So pack up the truck and you move to Beverly, and shit start happening. You know what I mean? Gives you the opportunity to make more money, and they will wax you out the ass, but you got to play the game. That's why you invest in places like Ohio. And if you need something in Ohio, hit me up. I got you. And then you use those investments to pay for your place out in robbery of California.
Right.
I got a
yeah,
question for y'all though. I wanna know something. As far as switch up the topic. So I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this ape DAO situation, and I see the homie Thread guy going hard, looking to jump into that. Does anybody have any information on that and how it works and what they're looking to do? I jumped into Leap Space last night after we got off of our space, and they was talking about how they felt like ApeCoin was a finesse that's going to zero, like 130 million tokens out there that people don't know who has and what they can do with it and the options that they have from holding it. What's the purpose of the whole Ape DAO situation? And so does anybody have any more in-depth information about what's going on with that?
that council is in place, and that DAO is in place to push the utility of ApeCoin. The DAO structure passes like Demi putting in a gaming thing to get funding to have an ApeCoin gaming team, right? People put in proposals to get funding from the ApeCoin DAO, and they're only like they haven't accepted a lot of things. A lot of things get denied, but the things that do get accepted are meant at least to push and promote ApeCoin as a use case and to get people on board with ApeCoin as the other side is getting built. Um, what I know is that there's a lot of big whales that hold a lot of coins, and a lot of things don't get passed. I think they do need kind of like a voice like Thread guy, but he's got to get the whales behind him. He's got to get the Machi Big Brothers voting for him, the other big whales that have a lot of ApeCoin, because you can have 10,000 followers all with one ApeCoin. That's 10,000 votes, but you got one well with a couple million ApeCoin. One person can control a whole vote. Like one or two people can control a whole vote, man. So I know those council members get paid like $20,000 a month or some shit.
Yeah, I
Uh,
saw that too. That's crazy.
yeah, bro. I will do their job for 2,000 a month. Sign me up.
How
That's
much?
Yo,
How many assets are? What's the asset? What's the AUM of our
uh,
market cap? Bitcoin.
and I'm not saying I would do a good job at their job, but
No, but
um,
seriously, what's the like? Because that's what the major issue is that people are complaining about how much they're getting paid. So I'm just wondering, like, what's the AUM? They should be making like 10 to 15 basis points of the AUM total max. And I think they're getting paid when I looked at it like 2, 3, 4 times that. That's what started the whole thing. So I don't know if they're looking into including other people and shuffling the board up or the leadership up because of that, because of the uproar of the salaries or what it is. I'm trying to
I
touch as much grass as I can these days. I've been off
yeah,
the timeline.
I don't, dude. I guess it's all relative to people's situations. But for like a part time job, I don't believe it's full time. I think they're required X amount of hours a week, 20 hours a week or something.
it's 3 hours required
Oh
a
my
week
God,
for
they should be
20
getting
grand
paid.
a month.
Wait, what? Okay, hold
Yeah,
on. I was
dude,
gonna say,
they're
I was
way
gonna say,
overpaid.
$5,000 a month is a fair, of more than fair
And it's
salary
like a team of people.
for 20 hours a week, but 3 hours a week, man.
So
All
what do
right,
they have to do in these 3 hours a week that they work in? What
They
is
get
it
on
that they're supposed to
spaces
do?
and do this shit. No
There's
shit.
No way.
they have
obligated
more they
meetings.
do.
I
I don't
don't
want.
know what they actually do. I'm really not deeply involved in the ecosystem. I read our friend Wale's thread this morning. That's where my info comes from. So treat
Oh,
that as you will, comp.
yeah. In that case,
Oh my
Jack don't know
god,
shit.
dude.
No, I'm
Back it
kidding.
up.
In that
Back
case,
up the
Jack should be
truck.
informed. I'll take Jack. I'll take a Jack thread over a Wale thread any day, baby.
Yeah, I don't write on ApeCoin though, bro.
No, so I don't know enough about their duties to speak on it, so I won't even attempt. Um, I just know 20,000 a month is a large salary, and I'm upset that I didn't run, and I'm upset that I didn't put my bid in, at least try, That's the only reason I'm upset.
But like it's interesting too, comp, because it's like, do we really want, I guess we as a clone ecosystem in this sense, like do we want one whale to be able to control the weight of the vote? Do we want that with a token that has a $2 to $20 price range or whatever, or do we want the number of actual votes that participate to be more of a deciding factor? And I think that's an important distinction that we as an ecosystem really need to figure out as we progress forward into some kind of on-chain governance structure, because like let's be honest, it's going to happen eventually, whether you build it, I build it, or somebody else in this ecosystem builds it. Like we will have on-chain governance at some point here in some way, shape, or form. And I think it's important that we as an ecosystem, we decide, do we want someone to be able to hold a third of the supply and just like absolutely make a wave when they vote, or do we want the people's choice to win out? And what's right, for which type of votes? I mean, it's a complicated thing to try and do decentralized governance, and I think that's kind of why there's many different approaches to it. And it's really interesting to me anyway to just kind of watch these other solutions and see how they play out, because like eventually we're going to do something. We might as well learn from who's doing it first. Pull the Apple strategy, bro.
I agree. Um, that's a hard one. Is Baron's vote more meaningful than mine because he's got more clones than I do? That's you know,
Does he though?
No.
I don't know, dude. Okay, I was only using Baron as an example because he's my friend, and myself as an example because it's me, and I
Does
use.
Barron's vote count more because he's a reptile?
Yeah, like there we go. So
It does.
It does.
yeah,
But
whatever.
like,
We
but
have an
God,
angel
but
if we
down.
got to that point where we
you
were
get
voting on anything, we'd be fortunate.
I'm telling you guys right
You get the
now.
added value, sir, of having multiple clones. So that's how the benefit weighs out to check against the reptiles like the Baron. Guys, I've literally drawn this whole thing up.
I know you have. I know you've looked into this. It's good that you're watching kind of how these other ones function. I think a good one. I don't know if you look into them yet, Jack. I think the best functioning DAO is Nouns DAO, right? They've got, they've kind of got it figured out more so than ApeCoin.
How
But
How does that work?
dude, they're I don't know, dude. But
Is it without a token, or do they have a token too?
uh, I'm not sure, but I
They
know
have
that.
they have their actual nouns. I think those are the most important things, right? Like they're on like a schedule of how many they mint, like one a day or something.
Yeah. So the noun collection gets minted one a day, and it instantly goes into auction, and it's for sale, and that money goes into the DAO ecosystem, I believe. But those things they stay pretty expensive because the DAO like buys them up. They prop the price up. Like it's kind of it's an interesting structure, but that's the good one you to look into, Jack, too, as well, Jack. But I think, and this might be me being wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not perfect, or more so maybe this could be like a capitalist thought, but I think that the more clones that you do have, or the more coin that you do have, should allow you to cast more votes or have more voting power. You've put more into the ecosystem in a sense, and then being able to have more voting power based on how much you've been putting into, or how much you put into the ecosystem, is kind of my thought process on it. And I'm open to hearing other perspectives.
What about how much shit you bought?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like bags and shoes to get the product out. See, I think that should be something that is looked into. It's like who utilized their clone to actually get the stuff out on the streets?
Well, I think it's
You know what I
a
mean?
combo. Yeah, no, totally. Because like it's a combo of that is part of it, but it's also how much time do you spend actively participating in the ecosystem that you're seeking to build? Because like Comp and Dre and like they committed to hosting Bad Take nightly. Like that is a mission. If nobody thinks it is, it is. That's 6 months at this point, maybe a little longer. Like that's impressive, guys. And I think that time spent actively participating in building this ecosystem should count towards something as well within this structure of a social voting system.
Yeah.
So here, I've thought a lot about this, not like clones specifically, but just like governance in general. And I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I kind of like. It's almost like I come to the conclusion that like the way the United States government is set up in a way like you have like a two-tiered like voting system. I think because on some level I think it's like the most fair way is like one person, one vote. But then it's like, well, if the more you're invested, the bigger stake you have, your opinion should kind of like count for more. So it's like, I don't know. I think the ideal system would be something like things that are like on like a protocol level, like something that affects the whole blockchain itself, like that could be probably that should probably be one person, one vote. But when you have like something that's like smaller in scale, that like something that only affects the CloneX community or something, or whatever other grouping, that I think should be based more on like how big of a stake you have in the thing. But I don't know, it's tough.
It's
I don't
almost
think DAOs work though. I think like inherently there's always going to be people with more resources that will be able to have a stronger vote and guide things in the way that they want, right? So it's kind of like all DAOs, sorry, not DAOs, but DAOs are flawed in that way. It's like you have to have some sort of consensus, right? Like even with the AIPs, there isn't like other than Jerry, uh, I'm not listening to any of the other people on the council about the AIPs.
So this sparks up a good conversation, in my opinion, right? Like, one, do we think that our ecosystem as clones will develop into something similar of this same type of ape coin situation, right? When it takes some type of quote unquote security for that to happen, for us to even have the choice to create anything similar to that situation. And two, I don't know anything about Nouns DAO, but I know I met the dude who's doing the documentary for them the other day. So it's interesting. Maybe I should learn more. If you guys would like to enlighten me on that point as well.
Dre, it'd be cool if you had that guy on the space just to talk to him about the documentary, or if we deep dove into Nouns. If you still talk to the guy, I don't know. That'd be fun, man, because I'm super interested in learning more about them, and I think we as an ecosystem can learn from that too.
No, I'm definitely down for. I don't even know if I should say that or if I should have told y'all that they have a documentary coming. So keep that in the recorded space that will be placed on YouTube for anyone to play back and listen to. Let's keep that secret here between us.
Yep,
But
IYKYK on that.
you know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely will be speaking to him a lot more, to be honest. So that's a great idea. I think I might have to dive deeper into that. But yeah, do you guys think that's where the possibility of us going in that direction? And before anyone else jumps in and says, let me get mine. I don't know if I think that's where this project and
I don't.
brand is going. Period. I don't think that's anything that's similar to what we know or what it's about. I don't think it's going to be like that.
No, but I don't.
I don't think that's. I don't think this brand is going to be anything like we've seen. It won't model after any type of security type of nouns dial 8. None of that. I think for real, they shown us that they don't want to even follow up in that type of direction, in my opinion.
The way I hear him, Jack, is it's not like I think he's saying that you get this done without a token. I don't think that it's just more about like for community events or whatever it is, like community led initiatives, whatever those might be. Having some sort of system. I don't know that Nouns even has a token system. So unless you're saying that there's not ever going to be a system for hearing what the community has to say, then otherwise I think that this is on point. But sans a token, I don't think we're seeing any tokens.
I think where clones have the advantage over a lot of other projects and something like in a scenario like this is you guys kind of have like the backing of like Nike, and they have a lot of resources. I'm sure that if it came to that point where there was like a reason to have a full functioning kind of clone DAO, I would rather I'd rather participate in one that has like the resources of like the greater like Nike community or so I don't know. I think that makes more sense than like a startup kind of thing. You guys, I think clones would have an advantage in doing it right with the you know uh Nike at their back. I don't know. I imagine there could be some sort of resource sharing, or I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we're doing anything similar to the sorts of anything like in my opinion, and I could be totally off with this, but the way that I see things going is that it will be built out as like a luxury brand in every sense of the word, like continuously helping other brands, other Web2 brands, other Web2 luxury brands continuously grow and integrate into this Web3, Web 2.5 ecosystem. I don't honestly even see like, in my opinion, I don't see the clones that we hold being like a Bored Ape type situation, right? The value of Bored Ape and the utility of Bored Ape was holding one so you could have that exclusive, oh, I own a Bored Ape. It grants me access to these type of people and this type of experience. I don't think that's what's happening here with clones or CloneX. I think clones were utilized as PFPs in models to tokenize other opportunities and other utilities and other experiences, not necessarily putting the value in the clone per se, but just in the tokenization of creating the experiences with
But
that
that's
said
but that's
clone.
the thing, right? Like it was envisioned one way, but like in a trustless, decentralized kind of world, people can use their clones however they want, right? I mean, there's some things you probably can't do with them, but like, who's to say you can't? Someone doesn't build a totally like bespoke experience for the clones, but it's not, like anyone can do anything is what I'm just getting at. Like, uh there could be a game there where you could bring your clone or your ape into the same game, and like, that could be a thing. Like, it's how, people are going to come up with innovative ways to use this stuff.
No, I agree, and that's the point. I don't think I don't think that's coming from the founders. I think that's from the community and the people. That's the point. They want people to be creative, to do and create whatever their minds allude to. I feel like that's what they were doing with all of this. Like, people are looking for the founders to give the answers on what to do, and the founders are telling the people of the community to do what you want to do. You figure out what you want to do. That's why they push Blender and learning 3D so much. Like, you guys can do what you want to do with these utilities that we've given you, with these avatars we've given you. create whatever, whether it's animations like Ali or songs like Vega or games or whatever. Create what you want. Here you go. But I think people are looking for them to give them the answers, give the individuals of the community the answers. Hey, what's next? What's happening next? And they like, yo, it's whatever y'all want to do. So that's what I'm saying. The difference between this brand and project over other projects is other projects like Yuga and Bored Ape, they're waiting for other side because they're waiting for Yuga to create the video game to do that. I think the founders is like, yo, y'all do whatever you want to do, as long as it doesn't, go past the rights of what we have with the ownership of these clones and these avatars. Do whatever you want, and that's the main point. So that's why I'm saying I don't think it's going to follow suit to anything that we've seen before, because all we've seen before are things that have been led by Yuga or founders or other people who tell in their community how they want to run things for the community. That's not what this is here, in my opinion.
I missed whose hand went up first. Well, let's go to L.
Hey guys, I'm next. So I'm in FWB, and most of the Miami people that I hang out with here are nouns, and I was a little noun for a little while, so I kind of know how it works. I don't like how it works. I feel like there's a lot of people that were in early, and all the OGs hold so much of that vote that it's like you almost don't vote after a while. It's just kind of useless, because they need a different structure. I can't see CloneX or Artifact ever going into anything like that for financial, of course, because Nike's a public traded company. But, there are like, it's pretty much as you guys saw, like when you voted, anybody that voted for the ape dowel that goes in there, that's how they vote pretty much in the nouns. You all go in and you connect your wallet and it tells you how many votes that you have. So I feel like it per token is better than like how much value you have, but only because that just gives people the ability to go in and completely control that whole vote. And if it's by token, at least if they're buying up the tokens or buying up the NFTs, at least the floor is going up, and they're going in and sweeping, or they're holding the asset and not just buying the coin. So that's just my opinion.
No, I think that's a good take. Kira, what do you think, man?
I'm gonna agree completely with Al, because, like, this weighted stuff, it doesn't lead to anything good. It like never does. Like, you'll have people that have like $30 million in ETH, and they would, just because they don't like someone, they will literally go buy that in ApeCoin and just make sure that like vote gets totaled, whether or not the proposal's like good or not. Like, and then there's another thing. So initially, I remember seeing a wallet called CloneX DAO. Obviously, Nike has like a lot more resources. There's no way that they would allow a DAO. Like, I haven't seen a working example of a DAO yet, other than Governor DAO, and that's because it's biometric. So unless you can have a clone of yourself with a different iris and a different voice and a different authentication, you can't have a weighted vote with that, right? But like, I don't, I just don't see, like, people can't come to consensus over like what to get to eat for dinner. So it's not, I don't know. I don't think we're there yet as a species. I think that's why the aliens are still hiding from us.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we are too too dumb to interact with. No, here's
No. It's not intelligence that's the problem. It's
the fact that we kill each other
yeah.
and never get along, argue about everything. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
you got to be. So yeah, I mean, if you have, this is the thing, and I think Jack touched on it. And it would probably probably does upset a lot of people in DAO structures, and I know it would affect this community. You would have votes that go up that pertain to specific things within the community, and you would have a lot of people that are very active in the community and here every day, like everybody in this space, who see things and understand how it all works, and they believe a vote should go one way, and you could have some who's never been on the timeline, ever been in spaces, does not interact with the community, doesn't even follow most of the community, could come in and completely just put the vote however he wants, or multiple wells. And I know for a fact that I would feel some type of way if it was like going against what I felt was best for the community, because all of us are here every day, and somebody could come out of nowhere and just shift the vote in some direction that we don't feel is best for the community. And I'll be honest, if I'm looking in this room, everybody in here is a big voice in this community, and I trust anybody in here could accurately give a good like point of view on which direction or what we need to do as a community, more so than somebody who's not here every day and not on the timeline, not active in any of the groups. But
This is an area where I think like one of the interesting ways to, I don't know, account for like time spent in the community and whatever are things like like POAP types of things where it's where where it would be like a badge or something like on your name, like something, but they'd be like, the point is that they'd be like soul-bound tokens that don't have any value, that you can't trade away, using stuff like that as ways to kind of like, I don't know, like I said, measure time spent, things that you can't really like fake, like all goes part like towards your like digital identity and like your, yeah.
Azuki has done it pretty well with their website. So they have like a section where you have badges and stuff, and the badges are awarded, some of them manually, because there has to be some sort of human verification and stuff.
I
That's
think
pretty cool.
too. I do want to say, like, with FWB and the DAOs, you learn pretty quickly when you go in that, like, everybody votes yes to everything, and they could see if you vote no, and you kind of get, like, questioned later on how you voted. So, I think that's the other issue is when you're voting for a wallet and everybody knows who you are, that, everybody votes yes on almost every single thing, unless it's like a multiple choice. So I don't feel that the DAOs really work that well.
I mean, that's like social pressure though, right? Like that's like that's not inherently like a bad thing. There should be consequences for your actions, right? Like we got to hold yourself accountable in some way. I don't know.
Yeah, but it kind of becomes like accountable to who in that sense, because like again, decentralized, and we're not all gonna think the same way, nor should we. And it's like if we all start socially, hazing someone because they voted different than we do, it's like, what's the point of being decentralized?
It happens in the ApeCoin DAO, but on the other hand, they vote no to everything, and a lot of the wells pretty much vote no to everything. Like anything that requires spending, they just vote no on it. Like I think two things have been passed, or something small has been, some small amount of number has been passed since the inception. But yeah, you see it publicly, and I've seen threads that have called out people for specific votes, or um, called out people like for how they're voting. Um, I don't know if it's public shaming or just trying to put them on the spot. But I guess it's one of those things. It's one of the dynamics I guess we have to get used to in decentralized voting, especially if you have an ENS tied to it or they know your wallet. Like, um, that's part of why we like the blockchain, though, guys. You got the transparency, right? It's you can't have one without the other. We're going to be advocates of the blockchain and the transparency of it. But I guess we can't be upset when that transparency is used in ways that we don't think are fair. I don't know. That's my thought.
The gift and the curse of it all, right?
Yeah, like I like the transparency when I'm, tracking down someone's wallet to figure out who I need to contact to buy a clone, but I don't like the transparency when, someone's seeing me sell at a loss because I'm a bad trader. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. Oh, bro.
And the fact that politics is moving into this realm as well, like we see Elon pulling up Ron DeSantis and other people as well. I'm in an elevator, so I might be lost, but the
No, you
transparency
sound
that
good.
comes along with it all. I feel like politics is moving in that direction as well because they following suit. Everything is going to come this way, man. Everything is inevitable. So it's very interesting to see how it goes. And Jack, you proving and making great points for what you're saying too about how it works with decentralization and blockchain. I'll say this to you, Jack. Like you and I might not have agreed with a lot of the things that you said or your actions, but I got to be straight up with you when I tell you that I appreciate you being here now, having these conversations because it's everything that you're saying, and I agree with is it brings that balance. We need people to come in and have a different perspective and point of view to jog thought processes for not only myself but everyone else to see things in a different light. So I'm going to publicly say that to you. I appreciate you being here having these conversations with us because it really does spark up more thoughts and actual inspiration for real.
Appreciate it, Dre. Thank you. It's yeah, decentralization, man. I mean, there's so much more to it than any of us really realize. I think when we jump into this space, and then it's like it all kind of hits in just different angles and different ways, and like I don't know, I kind of don the term shadows, I guess, as like a thing that kind of blinds each of our individual sites in ways that we don't know, because like you don't know that you can't see something because you literally can't see it, and like all of us have different ways of not being able to see different things in this world, that because like we just don't have the background that other people do, and coming together is really special, and that's what's fun about the CloneX project, the artifact ecosystem, like just believing in it. Like you're already in my book, like it's like, yo, yeah, let's go LFG, like creator economy, what are we doing kind of thing. And it's always like, I don't know, that thing that kind of ties us together is it's just special, and I think it needs to be protected over and beyond the animus. However, I hope the animus reveal and draw our bonds closer as we train together over many, many years, sir. All I know is when Move to Earn comes out, we got that drip leaderboard. My only goal is to top Baron. That's it. Man's run 7 miles when he wake up. I'm like, oh, okay, let's see what we got when we're the sir's age.
Yeah, I don't know about running 7 miles at any age because damn that. Damn all that.
I think we're looking at the Move to Earn wrong. I don't think it's going to be distance based. I think it'll be more so location based. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's just going to be movement based. I think it'll be more like a Pokemon Go type thing where different cities, different areas have hot spots where if you're getting close to the spot, different achievables can kind of open up. I don't know. I don't see those things as running shoes though. I'm not running in those. I'll tell you that right now.
No, that's a fact. But I think
I'm
you onto
not running.
something with that point. Just think about it. If it goes along with what you're saying, right, and being location based, and think about IRL events being tied to that, right? The people who are part of the community showing up to these IRL events then are more earning more because they're moving more along with the community and the events that the community are putting on. So you get more opportunities to pick up that rare whatever Murakami dragon face, blue eyed, yellow tooth, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that'll be dope. I mean, of course, we just speculating it can go completely, totally different from anything that we're saying, but that would be a dope component if that is an addition to the plans. Cass, take notes, Anya.
Yeah, I don't even know the term that it would be. Like we've used the Move to Earn term because that's the only term that we even like know of, but it could be like a whole different concept. Like if you're wearing the kicks in New York, right, during NFT NYC and they have a hot spot, at the function or at the like in NFT NYC that when your phone or your kicks get close to it, it opens up you to a POAP or a mint or a specific digital wearable for your Animus or clone because your phone and shoes sense that you were in that spot. Sure, you had to move to get there, but there's got to be a different term, and I'm sure we could dig into some patents. They probably have some. They probably have some term already set, huh, Jack?
We could do move to experience. I don't know if there's
Yeah,
any other term out there, but move to experience removes any kind of buzz term like earn, and it still fits M2E. So I just did the marketing job there. Dude, the main
we'll put them for
problem with
that.
Pokemon Go was that you could just spoof your location, and then your fucking friend sitting on the couch next to you is like, "Yo, I'm in China. I just got a Mewtwo. Oh, dude, I'm in Australia. I just got a Lugia. Oh, I'm sitting over here." And meanwhile, my ass is running around downtown the city at midnight trying to catch Dragonite that spawns outside of the stadium with everybody else who's making the news, station for flooding the streets of St. Paul, because we're playing Pokemon Go, and it's so much more of a vibe to actually experience this thing. So when we have location, proof of location, let's even call it, like that's going to be massive if we can accomplish that using the NFC chips. Like let's go kind of thing. Like all of our events are going to become way more electric because like you're saying, like they could put up hotspots at those events, and it's like, yo, like this is a vibe because we're all running around NYC Central Park trying to find our version of Pikachu.
So I say this all the time. The last great summer was summer 2016, and it's just been downhill since there. Like the world has been downhill since 2016. And from what I remember, I got out of the army in 2016. I started growing my beard out, right? I did a week long off-roading camping trip out to Moab, Utah, living in the desert with like a bunch of other people, like doing off-roading. But I believe 2016 was Pokemon summer too. Like, wasn't that when the first Pokemon I was and I'll tell you right now, man, you do not want to be in Killeen, Texas when Pokemon Go drops. Do you know how many terrible Pokemon they put in Killeen, Texas? I couldn't get shit in Killeen, Texas. Like people around the world going to the stadium, the Viking Stadium, and getting all these crazy, like Jack's getting all these crazy Pokemon and football stadiums, and I'm in Killeen, Texas, getting nothing, bro. I was all over the place. If I would have known I could have spoofed my location to like LA or something and picked up some good Pokemon, I would have probably been on it even more than I was, dude. I remember driving around. I would drive around to like the local parks and stuff because you could get better Pokemon there. Was this 2016, Jack?
Dude, it was right when that game dropped, man. I would leave work, slightly early, and I'd get out there and I'd play for like 20, maybe even 30 hours a week, bro. Me and my boys would just drive around, spin Pokestops, buff the entire street, do loops, sit by the lake, with like 6 charge batteries in our backpack, charging our phones that are, 125 degrees because they're just cooked from spending all summer, all day in the heat. But yes, dude, I played my butt off on Pokemon
Dude,
Go, and I hit level 30, like relatively about as fast as you could in that sense of like actually organically playing. Um, it was a big blast, and then I realized my friends are spoofing across the entire country, taking all the good Pokemon, and then I'm never going to be able to actually compete by playing the game. And it was just a big put off. So like I feel like the Crypto Kicks IRL could change the entire dynamic, across moving to experience across a digital ecosystem.
yep. See, summer 2016. The world's been downhill ever since. And if anybody wants to prove me wrong, let me know. But bro, there just was nothing like that summer. We just had we've been in the shitter since. Pokemon Go, out of the army, traveling to Utah, like shit, man. Well, Jack, you brought back memories of the Pokemon Go summer. Um, hopefully I could have some fun like that, man. I never seen anything get people outside more than that. I seen people outside that I had never seen before. Like you could tell they haven't went outside in a while. Yeah.
Dude, I like to say it as the cave dwellers came out finally, because like everybody was dressed in some kind of way with some kind of interesting accessories on, walking around, and all the parks were flooded. Dude, it was an entirely different experience. Now it's like we look at Artifact where we could go. It's like, why shouldn't we all be rocking digital drip? And when people like hold their phone up to catch a Pokemon, why not highlight the trainer or the CloneX that's out there trying to hunt these animus too, to show off the digital drip and show the provenance of each of our individual stories. Like, this whole thing is connected, comp. I think it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to see the experience. I got 4 pairs of shoes of these coming, but I only have 2 feet. It's weird. Um, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the other 3. I'll put them on. I'll put them on Shaw. Throw them on like my brother and everything. Especially if it's for like if I'm getting digital collectibles, dude. Oh man, I'll be out. I'll be out collecting while we're on Spaces with batteries, Jack. That's brilliant, dude. I didn't bring a battery with me to Pokemon Go. Like that's next level. I remember in Killeen, Texas, when you went to the park, it wasn't like in the big cities, bro. There's maybe one other person doing it, but you could identify who was there. It was really weird. Like you're in a park walking around with your phone out and you see this one other guy, and it was if it was like 50 other people, it wouldn't be as weird. But when it's just you and one other person doing it, dude, it's like, yeah,
Dude,
we're
our
fucking
parks were like picnic blankets and all sorts of crazy, like everything, just kind of linked. Sorry, I'm trying not to die on the Diablo game. Hunting the loot. Trying to grind level 60. Anyway, dude, our parks were like picnics. Like I would bring a fold up chair everywhere, a blanket, a backpack with water, Gatorade, and 2 or 3 battery packs. Pop some of those local buffs for the squad who's out there playing, and just grind, because like it was a vibe. Like I caught like 300 to 400 Magikarp in a day, comp, just sitting by the water spinning Pokestops, because there was this beautiful spot you could spin 5 and just constantly pull Magikarp to then evolve Gyarados to try and min max. And that's what you do when it's 2016 and you got a real job and you can go play Pokemon for 30 hours a week because you live with your mom. Haha, great
dude.
times, bring it back. Just kidding. I like where I'm at now. That was fun in the moment though.
No, bro, I'm telling you, I literally had just got out of the army. When you get out, any leave day, like any leave day that you didn't use, they just stack it all up on once. So I had like 2 to 3 months of paid leave. Like I'm just off. They actually out process you early, so they'll take the time that you had left to serve, and then they'll subtract however many days, whatever, out process you, and you just get paid for like 3 months on the back end. And I told them I was moving back to California, and they pay for you to move, right? So I did a fake move back to California, um, mileage and everything. I had my aunt mail back my mileage form. Uh, it's an army finesse. Like, this is recorded. Everybody does it. Like taxpayer dollars. I'm sorry.
I've never heard of any of this. I've never myself partaken in any of
No,
this activity.
bro, bro, I'm off work, Jack. 3 months paid leave. Just collected a moving check. Like, dude, I was growing my beard out, just bumming it, man. I was playing Pokemon Go. Yo, pinnacle. 2016, summer 2016 was the peak. Um,
No, comp, the peak is always the next thing, bro. You had a great experience, but you're continuing on this acceleration towards the tippity top.
no, I'm just talking about the peak of humanity, bro. Not my peak. Just the peak of humanity.
Comp, you'll have to give me some recommendations or tips. My sister is actually moving from Oregon to, they just found out they're moving to New York, I believe. And her husband's in the Coast Guard. But she's young, like they got married really young. So she's my baby sister. And she's like had never lived anywhere else, and they got married and they moved away like right away. And she's like, I am terrified of moving across the country, but because they're serving, because he's serving in Coast Guard and everything, I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to research this, like, giving you recommendations. I don't think they're moving until August, but you'll have to give me some tips and things.
Is he getting out, or they're doing their first station, like moving on the first?
No, this is kind of first station because he went in like in the the early stages of like his getting into like getting sea legs and everything, and that's like Oregon was that. And then he went into, I think it's A school. And he's doing that right now, and temporarily she's living back at home in Arizona with my family. And then they just found out like a few days ago that they're going to be going to New York, and she's like, what the heck? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm going to be so far away from everyone and everything, and moving. I think the whole aspect of just moving is like really freaking her out. So,
Well, yeah, she's at the whim of the military now. They both are. Like, they can move him there for 2 years, and then you know what? We actually need you on the coast of California. Move him there. Hopefully, they give him a good couple. Moving wise, if they're stressed about moving, if you want to capitalize on the free money, you do what they call a move, do it yourself, a Diddy move, and they'll pay you to move, and you just do it the cheapest way possible, and they calculate the miles and amount of stuff and just give you a flat check. You can make some bank doing a Diddy move if you do it right. Like, I'm talking, I think Shauna made like $15,000 on her move from North Carolina to California because it's across the country. And she's super frugal, so she packed it all herself, loaded it all. Like, we packed it all, we loaded it all, rented a truck, towed her car behind it, and they paid her mileage and everything else, and it was like significant, 15 grand. But if she's stressed on the actual move and they don't care about getting some money, then the military will give you a contractor, and they'll move it for you, and it's super stress free. You just hop on a plane and show up at your new spot and schedule out when you want it to get delivered to your new place. It just depends. I would go when I was in the military. I think when you're in and you're moving duty stations, it's just easier to do the contractor route. Let them move it for you. But on your final exit, do the Diddy move because you can get paid out big because they're gonna move them back to their home of record. And if their home of record's Utah from New York, that's a lot of mileage they'll get paid for.
Better make that home a record Iceland or some shit like that.
Yeah, my buddy had Alaska as his home record, man, and he did a Diddy move. Yeah, he made bank on that one.
Straight up, take that. Talking about Diddy moves. That is it. No, it's always some type of way to figure out another. I want to call it a finesse, because I feel like soldiers are rightfully owed that pay because they go through so much shit to be a part of the military. So, yeah, man, take that all day, every day.
Finesse them. There's all kinds of tricks on you if they're gonna do a Diddy move, like, when you're in the military, they teach you, your friends will teach you ways to buy up all the cases of water at the local store and borrow all your friends' weights and stuff. So when you go to the weigh station, your truck is significantly heavier because you have 50 packs of water in there and all these different weights. And then before you start driving, take all the weight out. So you get paid for the gas and the weight. Like, there's all kinds of shit that they do, bro. It's I had a lot of water after. Keep your receipts. You just return all the water. It sounds so bad, Dre.
I know it's kind of hella scary, but it's methods behind this madness that we're speaking about. To switch the subjects, so people who are going to Vegas, it's an event that's happening on the 24th, and they're optioning out to give people a discount code to go to the event. The Azuki events, you got to pay to get in everything. So if the people who are going, let me know, and I can let the guy who's throwing it know. We can get the discount code if you are interested. It's for the event. the Rising Tide event. If you know what I'm talking about, so let me know.
Yo, Pepe lived in Killeen too. He just messaged in the Angel Dow group, saying that he was playing Pokemon Go in Killeen in 2016 when I was. Dude, that's a small world. He was stationed at Fort Hood, where I was stationed at. Damn, Pepe. Okay. Yeah, you know how much of a shithole it was. You know how many murders have happened at Killeen? Like, at least every 2 months, there's someone getting murdered at Fort Hood. Like, a girl just got murdered. I mean, we don't got to go down that route. I'm sorry, Dre.
It's
Yeah,
Yeah,
we.
it's
let's
it's
not
those
go to.
podcasts, those murder podcasts.
Let's not. I mean, y'all got my man Compound full fledged TikTok past murder stories. My man is
Uh,
deeply embedded in everything that's happening in that ecosystem.
there were shootings in Fort Hood, and there's just been a lot of shootings at Fort Hood. But if you've been there, you know it's bad.
It lives
Hey,
up to the
sorry.
name.
Sudden quick subject change really quickly. Are we doing anything Saturday night for Vegas? Like, what are there any plans yet? Or like, should I try to should I try to make plans at like there's this really really good restaurant that serves like the best dumplings I've ever had in my whole life in Vegas, and wondering if I should just go and like make an appointment or something.
Well, I don't know if there's anything official. I guess we can ask Gillen or we'll ask some of them. I'm sure there's the group, like we're doing something. Let's mess. Are you in the group chat? The Vegas group chat?
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm in the table group chat, and then I think it's the same one that they did like the brunch thing for all that. So,
Let's mess.
but
I'm down to do like if you want to go get some food and stuff. I want to go. Like if there's good
Me
dump.
too.
Oh, like Anya's like I'm gonna go. Like no, I'm going.
Yes, everywhere. Because honestly, I can't do a lot of the stuff that the Azuki people are doing. Just I don't call it dietary restrictions. That sounds like sucker shit, but I choose not to do those things. It's like so, anything we can come up with for real, anything you thinking about doing, I would suggest just make the reservation anyway. And if you don't do it, you don't do it. But if you do want to do it, you got the reservation and make the choice to do it. Yeah, I got it. So yeah, let's any and everything, man. Who all is coming? Who all like we need to have our own communication field set up so we are on the same page, like a WhatsApp, like we usually do.
yeah, I'm not in any of the WhatsApps, but yeah, if there's already one that exists, I'm happy to jump in with anything, or we can take it to the group chat wherever it is.
Dude, I know who's going. I know everyone who's going.
Set up the WhatsApp then, comp. Let's get it cracking. Like we need
Hey,
to clone this WhatsApp
we got a group chat already. Why are we doing more chats?
because it's a group chat with everyone, with the Azukis and all of that. Like, what if we want to do something that don't include them? Right? I'm sure they got their own Azuki chat. Why can't we have our own clone chat? Set the shit up. Let's get it cracking.
All right. I don't like WhatsApp, but I got it. Maybe soon. It's me, you, Anya, Ilan, Shaw, Fawn, Vega, Randy. I think that's the clones. Kuro always says he's going places. I don't know if he's going places, but
Hey,
Hero's always going to play.
can you ask Shaw what she's wearing? Because I need to sorry, I need to coordinate.
what?
Sorry. I know, babe. We're gonna wash it. My, I have, I do a battle with my 5-year-old every night. He's obsessed with Mario, and he wears a onesie, and it's wash day. He's not allowed to wear his onesie. He's arguing with me. I'm sorry.
No, I get it. Yeah, I think everybody had their onesie when they were a kid. You gotta tell him he's got to schedule wash earlier in the day so that it's ready to rock before bed. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. Don't listen to me for any kind of parenting advice. I don't know what I'm doing here.
It's Vegas, Anya. They wearing Vegas clothes. That's what happens there.
I don't know what that means. Can I wear Jordans? Like I mean, I have some
Yes.
I have some off-white Jordans that I'm planning to wear like every day while I'm there.
Yes, wear the off-white Jordans, bro.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll ask the same thing. She was asking if she can wear. Yeah, you'll be fine. I'll ask her too, just to be sure. But I think Ilan told us that they made sure to a lot of these like Hakkathon has like specific dress code requirements, but Azuki made sure to switch up those dress code requirements so that it could be like streetwear and stuff and not have to be button downs and like dresses, and they made it more casual because the Azukis, they like their streetwear too. Ilan, did I just make a complete lie up or am I on point here?
No, dude, you're sweet. So yeah, it's the only restrictions are so like open toe shoes, so no sandals, and no face coverings, like your entire face, like masks. Obviously, like COVID masks and shit are okay, but you cannot wear like a balaclava or like, anything like that. So that was like, those are the only two things that there were restrictions on. Everything else, you're sweet.
I thought I saw. Yeah, no, that sounds about right. I'm just gonna wear my artifact hoodie. Let's just keep it simple.
On
And then I'm gonna.
Anya, you talking about going to Din Tai Fung?
And as soon as Ilan, yeah,
Yes.
All you
Yes.
had to
How
do
did
is
you
say dumplings.
know?
I knew exactly what the fuck you're talking about.
They're so good. Oh my gosh, I was blown away. The last time I went, I had them for the first time, and I was like, I can never eat like Trader Joe's dumplings again because I've changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that place is absolutely incredible. I've never been to the one in Vegas. I've been to the one in Pasadena. And yeah, it was a life-changing experience for sure.
It's the same place that like they make it like in front of you, like they have like the big glass like chef like making area. Is that it? Am I remembering that right?
Yep, you're definitely
Yeah.
remembering
Okay.
it right.
I gotta call them tomorrow and see if they've got room for like 8 or 10 of us like to go because like it's so dang good.
Yeah, it's incredible. I would go back. Like the Spirit DAO made reservations for like a massive reservation on Friday before Follow the Rabbit. So that's where we're going. But I would definitely go back. I'm staying at the Aria too, so I think most of the Spirit DAO people are gonna be at Aria. So and Din Tai Fung is in Aria.
Ellen, I'm following you around, bro. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Everywhere you go, I'm going. We there together. Like,
There's
I'm with you.
yeah, man, there's a lot going on. I'm not like I've had to like say no to people because I just don't. I'm like I'm not gonna have enough fucking energy, dude. Like unless I just find some rack and put rack the whole time. That's not an option. That's a joke. But yeah, so I guess there was a thing on Saturday, like two things on Saturday that I was just like, nah, because obviously Friday's a party and then Saturday's brunch. And then after that somebody had like this day club thing that they were going to. And I was like, I'll have to go to Rising Tide. So on Saturday, and that's like, so brunch and Rising Tide are the only things that I have for sure on Saturday. And that all this shit's on Lumia, I think. So if you want to check out Lumia, I can share that link in the group chat. You can just kind of see what's going on. Rising Tide's open to everyone, and it highlights basically builders in the Azuki ecosystem. So everyone's going to kind of put on a bit of a show of what they've been building, and there's going to be like probably lots of alpha getting dropped, and then like little tchotchkes and shit. It's going to be a lot of plushies and comic books and trading cards and everything that everyone's been fucking up to in the Zuki kind of ecosystem. So it should be pretty cool to go check out what everybody's up to, and then just get a bunch of get a bunch of shit, a bunch of Azuki shit.
No, I'm with you, man. And like I said, we it's no I in Ellen. It's now called willing because it's we.
I can't wait, dude. Comp out. I went down that fucking rabbit hole of the reset earlier today.
Oh shit!
Yeah, dude. I was like, I was killing some time waiting for my daughter, and I was like, what was that shit Comp was talking about? And so I looked it up and got on Reddit, and man, shit went fucking sideways real quick.
Bro, it's a fun rabbit hole, dude. I told you, Baron came into today, and he said, "Compound ruined my childhood yesterday. He ruined my entire childhood, bro." Um, dude, every major city, man, had a World Fair in every major city. It- uh, Chicago, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, New York, St. Louis, Paris, Berlin. Berlin was a massive one. World War II destroyed World War I and World War II destroyed a lot of the old architecture, a lot of old buildings. Oh, where'd Elle go? Oh, she rugged. I was about to call on her, but um, it's a fun rabbit hole though, man. It's just it's so weird now that we have phones and we have like different social medias that we can kind of talk through, that a lot of the shit that I learned in school just doesn't add up anymore. And I don't know if it's I mean, it clearly was all intentional, taught to us a certain way, but I've learned just not to really trust anything. You guys, this kind of falls into this. The reason why we're in this crypto space is like we didn't trust the financial system in the first place, and we appreciated the ability to take control of our own finances and transact freely. Kind of what brought us all here in a rebel sense, like a little bit of a rebel. You got to be a little bit of a rebel of the system to want to be messing with crypto. So I've always just questioned everything, and so it's brought me down a lot of those rabbit holes. But dude, it'll start to actually kind of freak you out about how much has been hidden about our immediate history.
Dude, I'm reading a book called Lords of Easy Money: How the Federal Reserve Broke the American Economy. And it is shockingly eye opening. I'm about halfway through it, and I learned about the oil bubble of the mid 70s. And then it also tracks how the Federal Reserve was impacting interest rates throughout this whole time and the effect that interest rates actually have on a macro economy. And then it goes through into the 90s and the tech.com boom. And then they kept interest rates so low for so long that all these banks were betting on the housing market, which we all know how that went in 2008. And it dives into the reasoning behind it all. And then it talks about how much money was actually printed in 2010 through something called quantitative easing. And it is absolutely stupefyingly high. I'm forgetting all of the actual amounts, but it's like they printed 100 years worth of money within like 6 months or something, deposited straight to big bank accounts. And then people are like, how'd this money just show up in all these bank accounts? It's because the Federal Reserve has a private server that they can transact freely with banks on. At least they did in 2010. I don't know if it's still there, but I'm going to finish this book through because when COVID hit, y'all, they printed like 300 years worth of money within a very, 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 very short period of time, and that's what actually caused, that it probably
They
contributed
did.
to the asset bubble and the pop and the collapse of FTX because nobody was actually doing the checks and balances. So this whole thing is tightly correlated to the interest rate and the world reserve currency is really what I'm learning here. Hence
Yep.
crypto.
Yeah, bro. COVID, they printed crazy amount. I haven't read that book. I'm currently reading one called Confessions of an Economic Hitman.
Oh yeah,
And
John
and
Perkins.
yeah, it's a really good one too. Maybe yeah, after you read that one, Jack, we'll swap. I'll read what you're reading.
Tom,
But
what if we start a book club?
Um, sorry, I have a friend here. I was talking to him real quick. He said happy engagement. I haven't seen him since I got engaged. No, dude, I'm down. I don't read though. I listen to audiobooks. ADHD, I cannot keep my eyes focused on one thing, so I have to have it in my ears while I do other things as well. So I'll listen to the audiobook. But the Confessions of an Economic Hitman will kind of tie in, probably would tie into the book you're reading, and it's about kind of uh, the secret type of contractors that the CIA hires to go into other countries and make them financially dependent on the U.S. Make the leaderships of other countries go into massive debt to the U.S. And then when they can't pay that debt off, we come in with our big businesses and uh, and establish American corporations. It's like in a sense, there's an empire. The U.S. has an empire around the world, and we don't even need to have military stationed, even though we do have a lot of military bases. But um,
That's
it's a
wild.
really good book. And then so their whole job is to get if like other countries and the presidents of these other countries, they don't comply and they don't take on these massive loans from US banks and the World Bank, mainly the World Bank, if they don't take these loans on, they what the hell, they usually mysteriously die in a plane crash, or there's a coup and overthrow the government. Like it's happened to so many countries now. And this guy was an economic hitman. He wrote the book, and they have a type of economic hitman called the jackal, which are the actual hitmen. If if they don't actually comply with the financial hit on the country, so
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, this is so because of that book, or that book and some others that I've read around this similar topic, is like sort of the basis of my thesis on Project Choke Point. Like the powers that be, including the IMF and World Bank, saw essentially what crypto was doing, and it was usurping their control and power. Once you make individuals financially sovereign, um, that then and you sort of disintermediate the banks, then you have peer-to-peer, sort of transactions, and basically what it does is it does to the IMF and the global financial system what the printing press did, to the church. It disintermediates that power structure and control structure. Um, that was such like a massive influence pre printing press, because the only thing that could get sort of, well, in the West was the Bible, right? And um the clergy had pure control over that. Like normal people couldn't even read the Bible. And then the printing press comes along and just democratizes basically information. You could no longer kill ideas, because you could, there were all these sort of guerrilla printing press operators that would create these pamphlets. And obviously, Martin Luther came along, and took down the Catholic Church. I mean, it was like the whole deal. Of course, like religion still exists and church still exists, but it neutered, the printing press neutered their control over the population. And the same thing's going to happen here. Like the same thing that blockchain crypto does. It neuters the control of the global financial system, including the IMF and World Bank, and these big banks that are intertwined into that. And people are like, the status quo is scared as fuck. Like they're scared. And that's why you see people like Gensler singing the praises of crypto like very early on, before the global financial institutions sort of started to realize what crypto was. Like it wasn't a fad. Once they sort of started to realize what ETH was, Bitcoin, yeah, everybody could kind of wrap their head around that, what it is, like store of value, digital gold, whatever. And that was like the narrative that allowed Bitcoin to sort of continue to exist, and nobody really cared that much about it. But then you get ETH and a lot of these other cryptocurrencies that could essentially be, spun up, relatively easily. And so you essentially usurp the power that not just central banks hold, but the global financial system, IMF and World Bank. And motherfuckers are pissed, man. And now they got their stooges in there, and they're trying to. That's what Project Choke Point's all about.
So, in the same way that the printing press and the newspapers nerfed like the religious studies and like what the narrative there, social media and free speech on social media and TikTok and Twitter are nerfing mainstream media's control and their ability to push a narrative. And that's why like these platforms are important. They don't want like us to be able to get on and share content and share shit that we find and talk freely, right? Because it completely undermines what they are pushing. And this all does tie back to crypto. And if we want to keep Bad Take as a crypto related NFT space, in a sense, it all does kind of tie back just in the same way that Ellen just said. And you're seeing it literally happen right now with the SEC filing lawsuits against a lot of the major exchanges. And I said it last night too. It's the pretty convenient timing that they file all these lawsuits against these exchanges at the same time their federal digital payment system rolls out in the beginning of July. So a month, 20 days from now, the US government is rolling out FedNow payment system, which is their like digital payment system that they want everybody to use. They want to get rid of cash. Um, and it's pretty convenient that they're opening lawsuits against all the major exchanges at the same time.
Do you know how decentralized that platform actually is, or is it like a private server and we actually can't see into it and just trust the process kind of thing?
What's up, Shadow?
Oh, hey, what's up? I swore I heard somebody ask a question, but
Wait, what was the question? Sorry, Jack. I had my friend came in right when I cannot multitask, dude. Oh.
I think
Ask the question one more time.
I just
think
thought I forgot to hit the mute button because I'm sitting here just gaming and talking.
No, what'd you say though?
How decentralized is that Fed Now or Fed Pay Now or whatever it is? Like, can we actually see that things are happening on it, or is it like a closed wall server?
Oh, it's gonna be close. Like, bro, they'll be able to see what's happening, but not us. They will also be, as they already do, 80 to 90% of the US dollar is already like completely made up in digital. There's only like 15% of the US dollar is actual hard cash, something like that. It's something small. So yeah, no, they'll be able to create, do what they want with it, see, all the transactions, track all the transactions. But your crypto and the crypto that you're using is bad, Jack, but their crypto's good.
It's okay,
Yeah.
comp. We can just ignite a bank run day of launch as an ecosystem and totally just see what happens. They'll print more. It'll be okay.
Yeah. Oh, Shadow. Hit us, man.
hey man, I just want to know, man, if how is our government releasing the pre-sale, man? Like, do we just have to like send like United States dollars to like Joe Biden's bank account, and he's just gonna like just drop it in our bank accounts, or how's this pre-sale working for Fed now?
Yeah,
It's
no, I
great.
hear you just have to bribe him with a little bit of money or hit up his son, and then you'll get your pre-sale tokens.
Oh yeah, man. But no, for real though, I really got two questions, and sorry to, kind of change the subject. This is very important conversations that I feel like everybody needs to have. I definitely agree with that media part, because when you were talking about what crypto is doing, I was like, man, and I was like, in media is TikTok and all of our social medias are stopping media period from being able to push a certain narrative. Like, it's actually happening so fast now that you can see something on a live stream somewhere, and actually see what happens. And then if you live in that city or town, by the time your local news station gets it, depends on, where you watch it from, they may try to spin it in a totally different story, right, to fit their narrative. So yeah, but I have two questions. I was wondering, one, with the dot swoosh, I was reading about how the drop worked. It was a little bit confusing. I didn't know if y'all are confused as well too, but they made it either seem like A, you only have 1 hour to reveal, or B, they were going to be slowly revealing um, within that 1 hour time frame, and then towards the end of that hour, everybody will be able to reveal. And then the second question was, I was wondering if Dre Millie could talk a little bit about his post. I saw that you post something earlier today, and you were saying that it's finally happening. I actually have no idea like what that is. I was just wondering if you could just talk a little bit about that. I just figured I'd come on the Bad Take and ask tonight.
No, of course. So to answer the question about dot swoosh first, I am confused as well. I honestly didn't dive deep into the information to even figure out or try to decipher what they were getting across. I kind of just scanned through it and was like, we'll just see how it works tomorrow when they do the reveal. And that's one thing we haven't talked about at all, like the actual reveal for the boxes tomorrow. That's going to be dope. But the LVMH play was just going into what I've been saying, because I've been giving these analogies about the traction that Nike is creating from having that swoosh and the association with Artifact, and what will happen from this collaboration, this acquisition, and how everyone else in the sector of retail is paying attention to Nike. And I kept telling people, LVMH is coming, man. LVMH is coming. I bet money. And even the last time I said it, I was like, I bet 1,000 on it, like kind of joking. But I wish I was serious, because I would have bet that 1,000 been enough too now. But they are creating their digital footprint slowly but surely. First with the box that they released, $42,000 box that came out last Friday, and now today, revealing that they have partnered up with I'm drawing a blank. I think it was Activation Blizzard,
Epic.
Epic. Okay, partnered up
Was
with
it
them to do. It was Epic to do some Web3 digital footprint. So they didn't really go into detail as far as what they're looking to do. They just kind of threw the same type of metaverse jargon that other Web2 companies throw when they're looking to jump into Web3. But they did showcase that they have, like, they want to give out some fashion shows. They're tapping in with Unreal 5 to do some Web3 ish reveals and integration when it comes to the display of their clothing. And they're slowly but surely integrating their consumer base to this side of the coin. One thing I noticed is that if you pay attention to their social media, they don't speak about any of this stuff. They haven't spoken about the case. They haven't made a post about the box that they just released. I didn't see anything about this collaboration that they're doing in the metaverse today on their Instagram. I could be wrong now. I haven't checked it since I've been in Phoenix, but they've been keeping that realm completely separate. But when it comes to Twitter, where we all are, they're throwing so many samples out for us to pay attention. They're baiting us in so many different ways for us to be like, oh shit, and get charged up about what they're doing. And that's definitely with intent. That's definitely a strategy that they're utilizing. I think they don't want to scare off the people of Web2, their consumers who've been around for hundreds of years, by saying, the dirty 3-letter word, acronym that everybody uses and blackballed now in 2023. So they bring it to the people who are comfortable having these type of conversation, aka us. So yeah, man, they're just establishing their footprint in this realm. But it's just amazing to me because, again, the conversation we had about LVMH, one of the biggest players in Web 2, period. All the brands that they own, let this sprinkle down from the top all the way to the bottom, and they integrate, let's say, half of the brands that they own. They integrate 50% into this digital footprint. It's going to change everything. It's going to swing the pendulum in a totally different direction than what it's been going. So it's a major play all the way around.
Sweet. Yeah, no, that sounds good though, man. I'm glad more people are definitely getting to the space. I wonder what because I always find it funny, and it's been coming up a lot. I wonder what companies are just going to do. Are we just going to just use these new digital collectible acronyms or whatever? Is like NFT term just completely dead now? Because all it really does, and I thought it was funny because I was watching, I forgot who it was. Someone in the space posted. They posted when Dot Swoosh announced that they were partnering with EA. There was some gaming YouTube channel. One of them was Angry Joe Show. I used to watch him back in the day when I used to be a big gamer. And I thought it was very interesting because I know gamers, hardcore gamers that are not in blockchain, all they know about NFTs is they know that people are wanting to push it on them. All they've heard is that it's a scam. And when you explain a metaverse to them, they just go, well, that's just Fortnite. Why don't you just play Fortnite then? Right. So it doesn't really connect. There's a huge, huge hurdle. And I know there's some projects that want to tap into that gaming ecosystem. You're going to have to put up a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of hard work to get over those hurdles, but the reward will definitely be there if you can somehow find a way to merge NFTs into gaming in a way that benefits NFT collectors and also gamers. I think EA and Nike are primed to be able to do that. And so when I saw them reacting to it, and remember, we bought these shoes for 19 bucks, right? Very low entry. These weren't like $300, like because when you talk to gamers, you're telling them like, hey, for the low price of $400, you can join this pre-mint sale of this amazing NFT collection. And they're like, yo, that's the price of a PlayStation 5 right now. I can buy a whole console for $400. Why would I buy access to a game for $400? That's just fucking crazy, right? So we got to remember that aspect of things, right? But Angry Joe Show, they're reacting to it, they're listening to it, and the main guy, Joe, um, he's like, his brother is like, oh my god, and he's like, what? There's nothing wrong with this. He's like, they're just gonna put the shoes on the players. It's like it's a sports game. They're putting shoes on the player. What? They're just focusing on the shoes. He's like, no, it sounds like an NFT, and he's like, no, not an NFT, and they're like digital collectibles, and he's like, oh, come on with this bullshit. So really the name change term doesn't change anything other than it just gives a surprise of like, oh, by the way, it's an NFT. But they're not dumb, they know digital collectibles now are NFTs. So I just think that it's like with a lot of things in NFTs right now, we have to just show them a different way. Projects have to just do better in showing multiple aspects of NFTs. Yes, there's a highly speculative side where there's community driven and floors go crazy, but there's also a really cool art side, and there's an also, I believe, a really cool gaming side to this thing as well too, if done right in a way that benefits not only the players but collectors too. But yeah, I do find it funny that now NFT is like this dirty term when really like all they're just going to do is like reuse the dirty term for digital collectibles, and now there's going to be two dirty terms, right? So yeah, that's just all I
You
want to say.
keep you keep using the term NFT when it's digital collectible, bro. You got to start changing your vocabulary.
Yeah, man, I got to work on it, man. I'm trying. I'm just a peer, you know.
We've already switched up our whole vocabulary over here in Artifact and dot swoosh. There's just something that carries a negative connotation by the word when you use like the word non, and then fungible itself has a negative connotation. And then the people that don't understand it, people don't like to not understand things. So that there's like a triple threat to anybody who doesn't understand it. The word non-fungible, what the hell is a fungible? And then I don't understand the technology. Oh hell no. So and then yeah, but there's been a lot of scams and like in NFTs, and there's also been a lot of shady shit that happens over here too that doesn't give it a good name either. But I do think the term digital collectible uh better describes it than using the word NFT, because a non-fungible token is practically a token on the blockchain that can't be divisible into multiple segments like a Bitcoin. One single Bitcoin can be, divisible up to like a million Satoshis or whatever. So it's fungible. Whereas an NFT cannot be divisible. So that's what non-fungible token like literally means. And it's just not the best description. Like we get it, that's what it means, but digital collectibles more so falls in line, I think, with what we're all doing here, rather than investing in undivisible tokens. You know what I'm saying? We're kind of investing in digital collectibles. What's up, Jack?
Everybody, I would like to say GN as I am fading slowly into the sweet darkness of the night. I will arise again in the GM. However, I just wanted to say good night. I appreciate the balance of the space. I appreciate this space as a whole. And then I just wanted to toss a shout out the queens, not the queens of CloneX, the clone queens X are having a contest with DressX, and like you can AI generate a dress. So I would encourage people to participate in that, and the winners like actually become a part of the collection. And DressX is gonna like 3D model your dress, which is absolutely bananas, because of the amount of time that goes from 2D to 3D. It's insane. So like it's a really cool opportunity. So I just encourage everyone to kind of participate. If you've never used AI, they like the DressX team is actually opening their Discord channel for anybody to use AI, and you can just take some of the prompts from other people and then try them out, and it's kind of a vibe. So yeah, good night. Let's be creative. Let's build some dresses as a community and support our queens that are making collabs with DressX, which is like so dope. Anyway,
Agreed,
good
bro.
night.
Dude, nighty
Appreciate you
night.
coming through, Jack. Have a good night, man. We'll raid some dungeons in Diablo sometime. Sorry, I'm just trying to speak the language. I've never played the game, but
I got so excited
we'll
there for a
raid.
slight moment, comp.
Nah, dude, I used to play.
We'll
I
move. We'll
bought,
move
but
to experience.
my son bought the game, and I still haven't played it. But I'm interested because of peer pressure of the timeline.
I used to play RuneScape and a few other games similar to Diablo.
Diablo's a vibe, guys. If you can play on console too and just chill on the couch and kill some hellspawn while you're leveling up your gear and like doing the playstyle you want, it's pretty good. I'm stuck on PC because I never got that console because I've been buying too many digital sneakers that eventually will become physical sneakers. So no PlayStation 4 for me yet, but I'm waiting for the Pro anyway. All right, good night, y'all.
Later, bro.
Matcha, thank you so much for shouting out the clones and the DressX project. We're really pumped about that. Very excited. I love your creation. It's so good. My daughter saw it earlier and she was like, "Wow, that looks like a digital princess dress."
I'm so glad I'm still up here. I almost just left. Anya, that's epic. Thank you. Yeah, just kind of a fun thing to dream up there. Might as well try and manifest that energy out into the space.
Well, shit, guys. What else is happening in the space? Shadow, thanks for bringing that up. I forgot that we were revealing those boxes tomorrow, man. Elle's had her hand up like 4 times. She's come up. She rugged one time. Let's go to her.
Oh, okay. Hey.
I'm
Thank you.
sorry.
Hey, I was asking in our chat, but there's I like bought a kid called Beast just so I could play with it, and a lot of the community is really, really wanting to put AF1s on their Beast. So I didn't know about giving them files. I don't know what the etiquette is as far as like if you own something and you're giving the file out. I guess you have the right to do that, but can I invite them into the Discord?
The answer is no. So no, yeah, cool. The more the merrier.
Yeah, bring them through. I thought I read somewhere where you're not supposed to share your files or something, and people just do it because they do. So I don't know. If you're gonna do it, I guess don't announce it. That's how I do it. I thought I read somewhere where it's like you're not supposed to share your clone files, and I'm like, bro, I've given my clone files to 20 MFers.
Everybody got my shit.
Crop top, bro. My clone in a
Yeah,
crop
not your
top.
clone files, but like all the side quest stuff. I just think it
Well,
only helps us to get more stuff on the timeline, and all of these guys want clones. They're all
keep
constantly talking about it, so I think it'd be cool to get them in the community. There's some really good Blender guys in there too.
keep in mind all those shoe files and all that stuff was stolen from Zaptio's on Cyber. So when that video came out, everybody went and like took all these GLB files from everybody's on Cyber, and so I guess they're out there. Really.
I will say this, because the community that I'm from, we do have quite a few of Kid Called Beast. My community, we do. How do I put this the correct way? We do the low plays, the entry level plays, and Kid Called Beast was a really good entry level play. I think it was like max floor, like 1 ETH, something like that. But yeah, man, I'm not kidding when I say there is a lot of people gearing up to jump into clones. So, yeah, I think I'm not the only. I'm just the only person that's, I guess you could say, brave enough to just go outside of their clique. Like I don't believe in barriers. This is crypto. Like you just go wherever the info's at, where the communities are at. I believe you can be a part of multiple communities, but some people feel more comfortable being a part of the same community because, like I said, most of those guys and girls in there, they've been there since like, VV days, right? So it's been like 2.5 years now. But I can tell you this: there's maybe, I would say there's three little subgroups that my group and other groups are kind of aware of. In my group, we average around 50 to 73 people a day. And some of these other groups, it's like 30 to, I would say, 50. But that's just like the people who are willing to join in spaces. There's thousands of them. Everybody are all in, we're all kind of like, we like the same thing. We like heroes, we like comic book stuff, we love streetwear, and we love that like streetwear aesthetic. CloneX is what everybody's like, oh man, if I had 5K, if I could tell you how many times I've heard that in the past month. Yeah, so y'all just get ready, man. There's gonna be a lot of new people here pretty soon.
Yo, Shadows community is big too. That one space we came through, there was a bunch of people, bro. That's dope, dude. Bring them through. Tell them to come through. I know you're educating them. They can come through any night. They don't need a clone to come in here. They don't need a clone to join the Discord. I don't know where you guys meet up and talk. If you have group chats or you do spaces as well. If you have a Discord, but you can come through the Bad Take Discord. Yeah, man, it's dope to see people from a different side of digital collectibles in a sense. All right. Because Vivi, when I started, they weren't NFTs, bro. I don't even think when I started they were even on the blockchain. So they were legit just digital collectibles with no blockchain authentication. And then they got onto Flow, I think, or a blockchain next.
So yeah, I can help about it. It's they started off on GoChain.
Yeah.
Why the heck they were on GoChain? But yeah, they started off on GoChain, and then they moved to Immutable X, which I would say this, man, don't. Immutable X is doing some pretty crazy stuff in the gaming space, but they are currently right now still locked on platform. They got these big IPs like Disney and stuff. And with the whole Blur situation, it probably won't be anytime soon before they're able to release. Quickly, I'll just say this, man. What's probably going to happen is a Top Shot type of situation where I think Immutable X is working on. I've heard this rumor that Immutable X they're working on a layer 2 on top of their layer, so a layer 3 technically, where it'll be fully enclosed, so you can still have a wallet and transfer out of the project uh, platform that you're in those little bubbles, and sell on their marketplace. But then you're stuck within that ecosystem, just like Dapper Lab stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, we pretty much everybody on that end. I've always been into crypto first. I was just intrigued with the digital collectible space. But yeah, they all kind of the last 2.5 years has been a growth period of going from not really a collectible, not even really an NFT, to understanding how markets and stuff works, understanding how blockchain works, Ethereum, dabbling around with OpenSea during the height of the bull run, doing Goblin Towns and other like really, meme type of NFTs. And now people are ready to get serious, and they're seeing like two things: which ones are in reach and which ones do we vibe with. And not to make it sound like a hive mind, but I just like we all kind of like enjoy the same things. And I tell you right now, like streetwear, that AF, I would be willing to bet your Air Force One drops, if you guys could actually see how many people were minting these things, I would be willing to bet at least 30% of those shoes went to people within that side of the, like over on my side of the community. Because they were like, fucking shoes? Hell yeah. We got so many sneakerheads on that side, man. It's fucking crazy. We got a
Yeah.
guy, his whole deal is like he's in New York or something, and that's what he does for a living is he pushes shoes, and he has warehouses of shoes. And yeah, man, sorry to go on and on, but yeah, we ready, man.
No, no, it's good that I am a firm believer that both dot swoosh and the Air Force Ones with Artifact are a great crossover. People understand, like your people, they understand that. I understand sneakers. I understand that. That's something I could look into, and that's like your foot in the door to start discovering more of the ecosystem. Like Orderly, man. Orderly was rocking Reptile Air Force Ones as a PFP for a few weeks before he went all in, got multiple clones. But it's I think that the Air Force Ones is a great uh, in Dre's terms, segue or bridge into the further ecosystem.
Yeah, a lot of the people, I would say, they probably would have clones already if it wasn't for the fact that they went in hard on those NFT shoes on the secondary. People were buying reptiles. A lot of people were buying the Murakami stuff. The majority of people were buying the Murakami shoes. That's what everybody was wanting. So yeah, man, everybody's at the same point where we're all like, "Hey, man, where you at? I'm at 1.4. I'm at 1.7, man. It's coming to us. It's almost at 2. Like we all like right there, man." So yeah, and I would say in the next month, the next 30 days, you're gonna have a lot of new faces running around. So yeah, and I'm
That's
definitely
see.
telling them about your spaces, and I'll tell them about the Discord too. But I will be honest, most people on my side, they don't really like Discord. I love Discord. That's where I started off at with crypto. But yeah, it's almost 100% on Twitter. So yeah.
That's the thing too about the LVMH play, because same thing, right? It's the homie out there in New York who sneakers is his thing, and he like, yo, I love this shit. I live and breathe this shit, and he finds a correlation to be able to integrate the digital ownership of those sneakers to a physical representation as well. They're like, yo, this is for me. Same thing with LVMH. All the people who probably don't know a damn thing about anything Web3, Artifact, or Bored. All they know is Bored Ape were expensive pictures of monkeys, right? But now they have a segue for them to be like, I love the experience of dealing with LVMH and Louis Vuitton and multiple other brands that they own. And now they're doing this. I can understand that. Oh, I would love to be a part of that. And then welcome, you part of this whole integrated into this whole realm of things, right? Nike's here, LVMH is here, so on and so forth. BMW, all of the above. So that's the whole process behind all of this, man. I'm excited for it.
But yeah, because I remember, I think it was the other day, maybe it was a loan, I believe. I do appreciate the fact that there are multiple different types of people that are collecting for different reasons. I mean, it's some for art, some for community. I know people that will buy an NFT just so they can feel a part of a community. And I used to, in the beginning, I used to never understand that shit. I'm like, yo, like, why would you buy that? Oh man, my friend, they do this, and man, the community was so cool, man. I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and pick one up. I was like, damn, like, and those type of holders are not people who are in it for financial gain, which there's nothing wrong with that. Not to pocket watch or nothing, but I think the purest form of picking up these NFTs are people that just want to be a part of the art, part of the community. They want to. It's almost as a way of like introducing yourself and opening up a door to potentially, make new lifetime friends, right? It's a really beautiful thing, this whole NFT space where we're at right now. Before it gets very corporate like, and before all the regulation and all that stuff is coming, rather if we like it or not. But right now, it's kind of like a beautiful wild wild west, right? Where some days it's very sketchy, got scams going on, but then most of the time, man, I think if people sit back and realize kind of what we're doing, like there's gonna be a day where you're telling your kids or your grandkids or whatever, where it's like, look, this is how it was. It used to be this. There was like two spots you can buy every collectible from. What? Like they didn't have their no. You just had to go to this one place, OpenSea, and you had this MetaMask wallet. It was this orange fox thing, and it followed your mouse around. Like all this stuff when we're in like 30, 40 years is gonna sound so archaic, but it's a beautiful thing right now. So yeah.
Jeff Staple and Bobby Hundreds talked about that too. That was dope that you can reach out and formulate relationships like that with them. Like Jeff Staple talking about how the whole artifact deal came about from a DM. And Comp threw that up in the group chat the other day. How they started off with a little, well, officially with a DM. Yo, this is what we plan on doing. With Takashi Murakami, and then they turned into this. And previously, the same thing happened between them and Jeff Staple. Started off as a DM. Yo, we love what you do. You're a legend. Let's work together. And they said yes. So us being in this archaic time that we are in, this wild, wild west, opens up possibilities like that, where we can have these conversations with these people, streetwear legends, people who have put on and created generations of experience for other individuals. We talking to them right here, right now. The same wild, wild west that people getting robbed for dozens of ETH in the same day. So it's a beautiful struggle, man, that we dealing with. So I'm just talking about where it could go and what's the possibilities of happening, man. It's the gibbets going again. So I'm gonna slow down.
We can't get Dre's giblets going. I got to log off for the night. Shaw's night off, so we're going to spend some time together. I suggest you all spend some time with your family tonight. We'll be back at it, though, tomorrow. Um, we could go down some rabbit holes, and I saw Dre getting excited right now. Shadow's already excited. Shadow, I do want to say, dude, I appreciate you being an advocate of your community, educating them. You've done more research on Artifact than I have. Like, you know more about Artifact than I do, bro. I feel like I know a lot about Artifact, but you know a lot. So I appreciate you leading by example in your community, doing the research for yourself, but also spreading knowledge among your people, and then bringing the knowledge back in here because we don't know everything, man. We can learn it. We can learn a thing or two from you as well. So appreciate
I,
you, bro.
hey man, I appreciate that. All I would say is it helps if you work from home and work is slow during the summer, man. I mean, I'm just glued to a screen. I'm like, you know what? Let's listen to some live streams about Artifact, So yeah, that's all it is.
No, man. Um, Tell your community if they, bro, if they want to chat or ask any questions, we're always open to questions. They don't only got to rely on you. If you need some help with anything, let me know. If you want to do another space, I had a blast in your guys' space, bro. If you guys want to set another one of those up, I'll come through again. I think it was a good time. You guys host a hell of a space as well. So, um, let's set it up.
Heck yeah, man.
Dre, you got anything for us?
I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow with Das Rush, man.
I'm gonna
You
get.
know how it is reveal days, bro. It can go either way, so I'm excited.
I'm pulling nothing but rares. You guys are all getting commons. I'm getting the all white Air Forces. Only 6 in the whole collection or something like that. I'm gonna speak that into existence. And with that, I'm out.